to persuade lawmakers to support the divorce agreement between Britain and the EU in a December 11 vote. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of the Netherlands has dismissed the idea that EU officials might revise the accord on its post-Brexit relationship with Britain. Mark Rutte says red lines were drawn by both sides during the long negotiations. Charles de Ledesma, London.
Major U.S. stock markets will close Wednesday in honor of former President Bush. The New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ said over the weekend they'll close trading Wednesday in observance of a national day of mourning. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Bags under the eyes, crow's feet, fine lines and wrinkles are things adults complain about as they age. Now there's Instantly Ageless. It works in minutes and is great for men and women. Here's a clip from The Rachel Ray Show testing the results of Instantly Ageless.
Board-certified dermatologist Dr. Whitney Bowe.
If you're looking to try to turn back the clock on a budget, in the privacy of your own home, but actually there's some recent technologies emerging, almost like changes the behavior of the skin while it sits on the skin.
She went off to try a product called Instantly Ageless.
Yeah, instantly you could see a difference. Even the cameraman were like, wow, look at the difference.
Yeah,
but I would definitely use this product.
This product, within minutes of applying it, it was actually a very dramatic rejuvenation.
Try Instantly Ageless today at gcnlife.com. That's gcnlife.com. 30-day money-back guarantee and preferred price discount at gcnlife.com. That's gcnlife.com.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Just dial in toll free and take control of the airwaves here. The number for you is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. There's several rooms there. You can join any one of them. We'll spot you in there and then join you in the room, and then you'll sound like you're almost sitting here in the studio with us. And the us in the studio is me, Ian,
Michael,
and Mark.
Coming up tonight, of course, you can bring up anything, but Mark, you had a story to start things out about a classic tune, a golden oldie?
Yeah, standard is what would be called in the business, right?
And it's causing some controversy.
It's a holiday standard.
It's causing controversy.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Well, it's been causing controversy for some time.
After decades.
Yeah, the song is Baby, It's Cold Outside. Are you familiar with it?
Is that Nat King Cole? Who sings that? I don't know.
Just about everybody at this point has sang this song. It's I don't know which one gets the most plays, but it's pretty common. I've heard several different versions of it, and well, let's read the article here from Inquisitor.com. A Cleveland radio station has nixed the popular holiday classic, Baby It's Cold Outside, from its rotation after listeners complained that the song was inappropriate.
How many listeners? That's what I want to know.
Were they even listeners?
That's another good question.
Because, at this point, there's this... there's this feminist agenda out there, right? And look, I don't want to pigeonhole people or anything like that, but this seems to be the shtick, and it has to do with this particular song because I think date rape.
Date rape? Is that what they actually say?
Pressuring a woman into sex, essentially, is the idea. I've heard a rebuttal to this is that if it's time appropriate, if it's era appropriate, that this made a lot of sense. And I tend to think it does make a lot of sense as far as era appropriate situation. I don't know. I didn't think about the song much other than just some guy trying to convince his girlfriend that maybe she should stick around and perhaps fool around. And it didn't ever feel to me like she was being, molested or whatever. But
there appear to be women who have sang the song.
Yes, lots of them.
Does that mean they support molestation?
It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference because they don't have the opinion that this group has. This is like the group of people that wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton because it's time for a woman to be president. However, those same group of people did not vote for Sarah Palin because it was time for a woman to be vice president. It is a this position that is just hypocritical, saying that it somehow has to do with a gender. It doesn't. It has to do with a political
ideology.
Agenda.
Yeah.
Right. And the agenda is, go ahead.
This is Dean Martin's rendition.
That's the one I'm familiar with. Yeah.
But baby, it's cold outside. But baby, it's cold outside.
Remember when people could sing?
Been hoping that you.
They don't have to be auto-tuned.
Without auto-tune? Yeah. Auto-tune ruined music.
Yeah.
He's talking about holding
he
hands.
Did this drunk.
He's talking about holding hands.
Yeah.
This is not.
Well,
I mean, this is not molestation.
Time. It gets a little more.
Well, he's going to get there.
I've got the lyrics here as well. But go ahead with more. What started this?
What I would say is the agenda is and look, you get whatever you get from the song. That's fine. But there is an underlying agenda, and it may not be held by everybody who dislikes this song. But an underlying agenda is essentially men are bad. There's toxic masculinity out there, and by that I mean all things to do with men. Men, or as I prefer to call them, rapers, are bad, evil things. Their sexuality is disgusting. Women are brave and strong and true, and their sexuality is exciting and pure. Like it's this weird thing. We're both the same species, people. And yes, there's good behavior, there's bad behavior. And
I'm not even sure that this song, I'm just kind of glancing through the lyrics here, I'm not even sure it necessarily needs to be sung by a man in the lead role. He's referring to the singer is referring to the other person as baby.
Yeah.
But that could be a term that a woman calls a man. I mean,
you could go either gender. I've been looking at the lyrics here. Yeah. Either gender could do either part of this song.
It's about somebody who wants his lover to stay, basically.
Because the snow is up to your knees out there.
Yeah. It's cold outside.
Right. And
you'd slip and fall.
There you go.
Hurt yourself.
That's it, right? I mean,
you might die in a snowbank.
But do you see how a man singing this, because like the interpretation would be entirely different with a man singing it versus with a woman singing it. And the reason is we have been socialized our whole lives to be disgusted by male sexuality and, just delighted by female sexuality.
I want to hear more from this.
Lots of radio stations around the country play the round-the-clock Christmas music this time of year. And
usually it means your radio station is going to flip formats. If you hear a station,
it
doesn't always mean that. But if you hear a station go Christmas, there's a chance they're not coming back with whatever format they've already been.
And they probably will tweak their format anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They should be. That's the time of year to do it. WDOK in Cleveland is no exception. However, as you've probably realized by now, a lot of the Christmas songs that wind up on playlists this season aren't actually about Christmas. Jingle Bells, Sleigh Ride, Winter Wonderland, and a host of others are about winter and don't mention Christmas at all. Fine. Joining that list is Baby It's Cold Outside. The song, written in 1944, doesn't mention Christmas, but does delve into the realities of winter, such as dealing with knee-deep snow. However, if you listen to the lyrics closely, you can see that there's more going on than just a back and forth between a female vocalist and a male vocalist complaining about winter weather. However, it's a conversation between a man who's trying to convince the woman to stay over protestations of the woman who wants to go home. This is the no is no sort of thing. You're teaching young men that no means something other than no. And yes, young men have been taught that, my whole life. I remember The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman beating on the glass during someone's wedding. Beating on the glass going, Elaine! And this crazy lady leaves her the fiance at the altar and goes with this lunatic at the church, right? Like, this is a bad idea, people, but it was portrayed as a good idea.
It's romantic.
Whatever it is. And I can only presume...
It's also insane, right? Like, if you did that at somebody's wedding, you'd probably get into a fight or get arrested.
Get a fight, you'd have the cops called on you at least.
I should hope so. But what it shows is that... I would say this, that for as many men as were convinced it was a good idea to beat on glass... that many women were convinced that it is a romantic notion that a man would come and beat on glass in order to stop her wedding.
I'm sure there are still one or two that think that today.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Another point I would make is things have changed. I'm presuming things have changed. When I was young, you didn't ask to kiss somebody. It just wasn't done. You just attempted. You either got the...
And she turns away or not.
The turn cheek thing, or you don't.
Yep.
And, I mean, you get kissed on the cheek, well, I don't think there's a capital offense that has been committed here. But nonetheless, this is what...
Wait, that's not sexual assault?
This I suspect it is these days, only if done by a man. But you just tried. Now, I think today they're much more likely to ask, "May I kiss you, milady?" or whatever the hell they're going to say. I have no clue. I don't have to ask my wife. Thank goodness.
Would you like me to kiss you?
Well, now that's a lame statement. Would you like me? I would like to. I want to assert something here. I'm not going to do it because you want me to do it. I'm going to do it because I want to do it. And that's I think that's a much stronger position from which to come.
We got more coming up here on this apparently controversy over a classic Christmas tune, classic holiday tune, "Baby It's Cold Outside," being banned from at least one radio station in Cleveland, WDOK. Cleveland's better music, according to their promo tag thing here. CBS Radio, owner of the station. More coming up here, and your calls and thoughts are welcome. Is there anybody who actually feels strongly about this? Like, who are these people that called in, that organized a call-in campaign to take down this song from this station? More coming up here in moments. 855 450 free like freedom.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, "Oh!" My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, "Ooh, get the stinky dog away from me."
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global. Drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
Free Talk Live.
So what would you imagine how long this body was sitting there for? A matter of weeks? Months?
Probably months.
Months.
There were about 25 or 30 dead cats in the house.
Oh, my goodness.
It was not a pretty scene. Literally, it was from the floor to the ceiling. This person had put newspapers and magazines, Life magazines, going back probably to day one, and Geographic going back into the previous century, and food boxes that were, ancient. And she had lived through a tunnel that basically connected her bedroom area to a bathroom.
What about the kitchen? Did she not prepare food?
She kept food in the bedroom and then had a...
That's nice.
I guess she used her window to get in and out. That's the best we could figure out.
Wow. Yeah, this is no problem that a good coat of fire wouldn't fix.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, you dial toll free if you want to join us here and weigh in on what apparently is a controversy over the classic song Baby It's Cold Outside. It's been sung by countless artists. Original songwriter Frank Loesser, Loesser. Of course, a lot of people know the Dean Martin version of it. We were playing just a clip earlier. And apparently the lyrics are offensive to some people who are suggesting that it might be about some sort of sexual... I don't know what they're calling it exactly, because it's just persuasion. It's not molestation. It's not rape. It's just somebody persuading somebody to stay home, or stay with the singer instead of leaving because it's cold outside.
There is there's a phrase in here that it can be okay. So this is about being triggered for one.
Triggered. Okay.
Triggered. So this whole social justice warrior idea that somehow certain things can trigger people who have had traumatic experiences. Nobody ever asks me whether or not I can handle watching Shawshank Redemption or
because you were in prison.
Orange is the New Black or Oz or any variety of prison shows out there. Yeah. I'm expected to suck it up. By the way, Shawshank Redemption does seriously F me up a little bit. It's a very good movie, and the power dynamics in it are so realistic for me. I'm just like, I'm done. I can't watch this anymore. Thanks. The rest of it is just fantasy, and it's fine. Regardless, going on. This is a trigger warning, and one of the statements in the thing is it's talking about the snow being up to your knees. Well, it says also, what was that in the what's in that drink? So
that could mean a lot of things.
It sure could. The chances are good. The answer is alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, not roofies, right?
In 1944, it was alcohol.
Right. That's 1944. It absolutely was alcohol. Yeah. I suppose it could be Spanish fly, which was nothing.
But I never figured out what Spanish fly was.
It was a marketing gimmick to get young men to buy something at a gas station bathroom.
So was it just a placebo? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never even heard of this.
Spanish fly was essentially the roofie of its day, but it didn't actually work.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, that's a disappointment.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if it is. We can continue the discussion here in moments, but let's go to the phones. You can take control of the airwaves. The number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. It's Ron in New York, and we'll get back into this controversy over classic song here in a moment. Ron, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Michael, and
Hi, can
Mark.
you hear me?
Hey, good. Yes.
Okay. So, speaking of social justice warriors, so in case you guys have not heard, well, you probably heard about it, but Trump just issued a bump stock ban, and now you'd think the Libertarian Party, the National Libertarian Party, would put out a statement against it, since it's a clear violation of freedom, but instead they chose to put up a post on their official Instagram that doesn't mention it, and they never mentioned anything about the bump stock ban. Instead, they put up a post that says, the state does not have the authority to regulate your gender. And what they're talking about, what they claim is that Trump government should determine somebody's gender at birth. Now, here's the problem with that. Well, obviously, the government shouldn't, regulate that. The problem is what they're talking about was Trump was trying to, and I don't like Trump, obviously, but he was trying to limit anti-discrimination laws on a national level, which most libertarians agree is probably a good thing since anti-discrimination laws are bad. And even if you're one of the few libertarians that actually agree with anti-discrimination laws, it's hard to deny that anti-discrimination laws on the federal level are unconstitutional. That's the first problem. The second problem is that they chose to talk about this instead of the bump stock ban.
Okay, so you're saying to you, one issue is clearly more important than the other, and that further their interpretation of the one they did address was lackluster.
Well, I'm not surprised that the Libertarian Party came out looking irrelevant and tone deaf. It's not like they don't pull that off on a regular basis.
Yeah, they do that. They do irrelevant and tone deaf very well.
Yeah.
Well, and then who I blame for this is Nicholas Storwalk, who treated Tom Woods pretty badly.
This is the Sarwark is the chairman of the Libertarian Party, I believe, right now.
Yeah, every one of my interactions with Sarwark has been positive, I've got to say. I don't know. I've heard that there's this this fuss going back and forth, and maybe he's trying to gain some relevance for the party. I don't know, but Woods also has, for better or for worse, it at times ended up on the bordertarian side of the debate about immigration and that sort of thing, and it's a tough one from a libertarian standpoint. Is it property rights? Is it freedom of movement?
Yeah. But I didn't like how he tried to say that Tom Woods was a white nationalist, or Tom Woods was a racist, or Tom Woods was a part of that. Because I don't think
Did he say any of those things? Are those the statements he made?
He said that the ideology, and I don't completely agree with Tom Woods on everything, but he was trying to say that the ideologies that Tom Woods agreed with were a gateway drug for white nationalism.
Well, to some extent, I have seen that be the case.
I'm not familiar enough with what Tom Woods' ideologies are.
So he's picking the biggest.
I think he's a paleo-libertarian.
He's picking the biggest target on the bordertarian side, right? So for those who don't understand what a bordertarian is, there's a libertarian, and then the libertarians have claimed that freedom of movement is more important than national boundaries. The bordertarians,
because that's the actual libertarian position. Because a libertarian is somebody who opposes the use of aggressive force to achieve your goals. And to have borders means you have to have a border patrol.
The bordertarians take it doesn't necessarily mean that. The bordertarians take the tenuous position that because people can have borders to their property, and that because Hoppe says that everybody in a community can get together, this Hans Hermann Hoppe, can get together and decide that a certain group of people could be excluded, or there'll be some rules for immigration or whatever. And these things are true. Yep, that's all the people in a community could choose to say that. However, if you have one person in a community that chooses to not say that, then your whole system falls apart. So
good luck getting 100% of people to agree on something.
You could
it's possible.
You could buy a piece of land, then set that out as the charter, and then when people move in, you say, "Look, this is the charter."
You got to agree to these terms.
That's an HOA. That's what it is.
Homeowners Association.
Yeah, homeowners association,
which is like a government but more voluntary because people are choosing to get involved with it. Well, Ron, I mean, look, what's new? The Libertarian Party for a long time has taken questionable positions, unlibertarian positions.
Well, the Libertarian Party's positions,
Yeah.
The Libertarian Party's positions tend to be quite libertarian. It's the candidates they pick for major office, specifically president, which tend to be a bit more mainstream, if one wishes to use that term.
Yeah, it's just a constant series of disappointments from them. Ron, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it. I, really don't pay any close attention to what they say at all. So everything you told me was news to me because I have no idea what the Libertarian Party is saying about anything. More coming up here in moments. You can take control of the airwaves. This is Free Talk Live.
We know you've had Dragon's Breath in the morning, but you've got to experience Dragon's Breath at night. Wolf Hill Ammo's Dragon's Breath, an incendiary shotgun round in 12 gauge, 20 gauge, and a 410 with an amazing muzzle flash and a fireball that launches up to 125 yards. Pure fun to shoot. At Wolf Hill Ammo, we love shotguns and offer the best specialty shotgun ammo on the market. Visit wolfhillammo.com to see our large selection of specialty shotgun ammo at great prices with flat rate shipping. wolfhillammo.com.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free and bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They're open for you over at discord.lrn.fm. That's our chat server. That's where people are in there chatting with one another, sometimes complaining, sometimes just having a good time and posting fun stuff or whatever. There's different channels in which you can Interact with other Free Talk Live listeners at discord.lrn.fm. Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. If you want the newest and freshest stories and perspectives on current events from those who value liberty, then freedomsphoenix.com has it. It's their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. It's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. That's freedomsphoenix.com.
I love it. I read their stuff every day and have for years. It's to me the most important news aggregation site out there.
So check them out, freedomsphoenix.com. And as we continue here, just had a caller on the line bemoaning the Libertarian Party and their to his mind, the lack of relevance of their press release, saying they should have focused on what Trump was doing over here, not what Trump was doing over there.
And I think that freedom-loving people should ask questions about why the federal government is, disallowing bump stocks, which it's kind of silly, honestly.
It's really just reaction to the shooting in Vegas a couple of years ago.
With certain guns, you don't even need a bump stock in order to get that sort of rocking motion thing.
Yeah, they're going to ban rubber bands.
Yeah,
you can do that with those.
It's true. You could use rubber bands to do it.
With the AK-47 I had at one time, all you had to do was just keep your finger in the trigger guard and then pull the gun forward with your other hand, like where you have the hand on the barrel or whatever. You pull it forward, and it just fires until the magazine's empty.
Right.
That's it. That's all it takes. You don't need a stock or anything like that. So... Anyway, if you want to comment, you're welcome to do so. But as I was saying, the Libertarian Party, it's relatively irrelevant. I mean, I don't disagree with their positions on a lot of things. It's the Libertarian Party that brought me into the movement back when they actually had a decent presidential candidate in the name of Harry Brown back in 1996 and 2000, who is an actual good libertarian who could communicate the ideas of liberty. I don't know if I would have been brought on board, but if I were turning 18, in 2012 or something like that, and Gary Johnson, or in 2008, and Bob Barr was there.
Oh my goodness, Bob Barr put me off the Libertarian Party forever.
Oh yeah, I resigned actually before he was nominated. But seeing the writing on the wall and how bad the Libertarian Party had gotten, and Mark, you say they generally take libertarian positions. I don't know these days, but I know that in the days of the aughts, they were not taking particularly
good. The party itself?
Yeah, they were not taking particularly
not the
good
candidates.
libertarian. Correct. The party press releases and such were not particularly impressive as far as their principles were concerned.
The party's platform, if you read it, is gosh darned good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's about all I can say about it. Look, I'm not a libertarian.
Most people don't read platforms, though.
I'm not saying they do.
Yeah. They might see a press release. They might see, an interview on television.
Likely
or
they'll see the interview.
I'm not sure the party reads the platform.
I don't know. But it's been a long series of disappointments from the Libertarian Party, which is why I left in 2008, and it was the right move to make. I don't understand why people continue to struggle over controlling this organization when there's really they're struggling over scraps. Basically, it's just a waste of time and effort. That's not to say that I think libertarianism is a waste of time. I'm just saying the Libertarian Party is a waste. Now, I understand the counter argument is going to be, well, we still got to have a candidate. It's better to have a candidate than not have a candidate.
Having an option to vote for. And the Libertarians provide me with this. As a Republican, the Libertarians provide me with a liberty-oriented candidate to vote for in the major elections. So if we're talking about statewide, there's 1.4 million people in the state of New Hampshire, and that's a small one. And I know that, some 30% or 40% of those people are going to vote. And that's a big number. The statistical likelihood that in a statewide election, my one vote is going to change the outcome is nil. Nil. I mean, vanishingly small. Mm-hmm. So why would I spend my time dithering about strategically voting and this, that, or the other? Why not just vote for a candidate for the Libertarian Party, for the third party? At the very least, you're at least voting for a third party, which most Americans will say that they want. If you want a third party, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to vote for one.
They don't do that.
And your vote on a statewide level, and all elections are there is no national vote. They're all statewide at the most. The largest election in America is a statewide election because even for a president, you're only voting for the electors. So anyway, if you're voting on a statewide level, your vote is inconsequential. So vote for the third party if you want to have a third party. There's no election at this point in U.S. history that has been decided by your one vote. So stop worrying about it.
Yeah, you're wasting your vote by voting for what you don't want.
It's true.
Let's go to Penguin. He's on the line in Virginia, listening online. Go ahead, Penguin.
Hey, yeah, it's Free Market Penguin from the Illinois Discord.
Welcome.
FMP Foxtrot Mike Papa. Calling from Virginia.
All right.
And I was listening to the beginning, the first segment of the show, and I just kind of wanted to comment on that, kind of call you out on the classic song controversy.
Okay.
I'm really familiar with the song. I heard that song much time. I work.
Baby, it's cold outside. For those just tuning in,
you work in retail.
A radio station.
I have in the past when I was younger.
Cleveland has apparently banned the song. Now, I wonder if this is actually a stunt on the part of the station, because apparently, Michael, you found on the...
be. I found their Facebook page, and they're running a poll. Should we play Baby It's Cold Outside during the holiday season? And 94% say yes, you should play it.
I want to step down real quick. Thank all the people working in retail right now. You're going to have to listen to that Christmas music day after day after day.
Thank you for your service.
Weeks, and, you people, thank you so much.
All right, sorry, Penguin, go ahead.
Yeah. It's not an uncontroversial song, but I mean, it's a classic. But I mean, the idea, and I'm going to say this, and I said call you out. Look, I'm adopting some language here, but I'm not a feminist in any way. I believe in traditional gender roles, all for it. I think women should be independent, but support the men and be a good cook and raise the children. I'm not the feminist type, but it's obvious that traditionally men have a level of coercion over women and power over women, especially in a one-on-one situation. Absolutely. I mean, a man and a woman alone, especially think about 1940s, there's not the level of female empowerment. I mean, come on. Now, there's...
what is it? Whether there's female empowerment on a societal kind of concept, what does that have to do with a woman's ability in a private situation to get up and leave? I don't think that you need to have a movement to have the personal empowerment to say no to somebody. Are you saying it was harder for a woman to say no in 1940?
Yeah, well, one thing, the snow is up to her knees, and the male is bigger, stronger. Obviously, they're having some alcoholic drinks. I personally don't support drinking of alcohol, and I mean it's dangerous. You can read between the lines. There is a level of coercion in the male-female dynamic, especially back then. And I don't think
that's the use of force, the use of aggressive force.
The power dynamic is all in favor of the man. In that situation, can be in favor of the man in that situation, and
so
I don't.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but what I would say is that the woman chose to go to this guy's house in 1944. Presumably for a reason,
right?
And she's chosen to imbibe alcohol at this guy's house in 1944, presuming all of the social dynamics that you're speaking of. It's not like she walked into this situation, it's not like he clubbed her over the head, and drug her in from the street, and said, "Ha, well, it's snowing. You're gonna have to stay here."
Right.
And you know what comes next? You know what comes next, lady?
Right.
So, but it's the implication. She's saying she wants to leave, and who knows what really?
Who knows if she wants to leave? This is the other part.
I don't know either.
Could be a game.
I don't know.
She could be playing hard to get.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hold on.
That did happen.
It suggests that there's a power dynamic here that the male holds over the woman. I don't know if I agree with that.
There's always a power dynamic, but you don't know what it is.
There's more coming up here in moments. You can take control of the airwaves and bring up what you want. It is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with Omega-6, Omega-3, Vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's in store this holiday at your local Staples?
Giving and receiving.
And receiving some more.
This year, give the job of printing your holiday cards to Staples, and you'll receive big savings.
Because now at Staples, you get 20% off custom holiday cards and invitations. Plus, when you spend $50 on custom printing, you'll receive a $15 print coupon.
So, happy holiday to you.
Staples. There's a whole lot in store this holiday.
Exclusions apply. Valid in-store only. See associate for details. Ends 12/29/18.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, dial toll free, bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. We're talking about something I didn't think we would ever talk about, the apparently controversy over a classic Christmas holiday carol, Baby It's Cold Outside, written by Frank Lusser, performed by a variety of different artists, including women, by the way, who are singers on this particular track. And what some would have us believe right now is that this is an offensive track that is contributing to, I don't know what the exact complaints are here. They're suggesting that this somehow supports rape or something like that, sexual assault. And Mark, you've got the story from, I don't recall where, Inquisitor, about a radio station in Cleveland that has apparently banned the song, although now they're apparently running a poll on their Facebook page asking if they should ban the song. So I don't know if the poll came before the decision to ban or if the poll came after the decision to ban. But either way, they seem to be milking this particular controversy. So it does make me question
as to whether or not the song was truly banned or if this is all just a stunt.
You've been in radio too long.
In order to, well, I mean, is it a legitimate concern?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In order to garner publicity. I mean, we're talking about a music radio station in Cleveland and what they've decided to do with their playlist. I mean, ultimately, this isn't, the end of the world either way. The
Call
song
letters I have never heard before, too.
Yeah. WDOK.
WDOK. Is that a music station?
It is a music station.
It would have to be.
Better music, they claim. Star 102. Cleveland Star 102. Adult Contemporary is the format. So we're going to get back into that here. And, of course, your calls and thoughts are welcome. By the way, thanks to Tyler C., who is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. That's somebody who values what we do here on Free Talk Live, talking about the ideas of freedom and liberty on 7 nights per week, and values that enough to where Tyler's ponied up $5 per month. So the price of a fancy cup of coffee to help support Free Talk Live, it makes a difference for us. It makes it so we can reach out to new stations, bring on new radio stations to air the ideas of freedom, because we're the only show in all of national syndication at this point that takes the positions that we do. There's just nobody else out there. Sadly, the Freedom Fiends are no longer in the radio business, so we're the only one left. And we were the originals, and we're still there. So if you like what we do, then please join the AMP program. You'll get some perks, you get some benefits, like the AMP Only podcast, the AMP Only call-in lines. There's also the AMP Only Facebook group. There's special chat rooms on our Discord server for you. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can use PayPal, you can use credit card, you can use Bitcoin, BTC, and it makes a big difference for us when you do that. So once again, it's ampamp.freetalklive.com. I did take some time to edit the AMP page over the weekend because it was a little out of date. It needed some tweaking. Like, we used to promise we were going to do after shows when we got to certain AMP levels. Well, we never got there, so we're just doing the after shows anyway.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
I took that perk off the list because we're just doing them for the hell of it because we're having fun.
Perk's already there.
With the Free Talk Live after shows going on Twitch. We're going to do one of those tomorrow night, by the way, at 10 o'clock Eastern at twitch.lrn.fm. But anyway, if you like what we do, please amp the show at ampamp.freetalklive.com. Penguin, back on with us here in Virginia. Go ahead with more of your comments on the controversy on Baby It's Cold Outside, because you sound like you're almost on the side of the critics here on this song.
In some ways I am, and in some ways I'm not on that side of that kind of particular ideology. So basically, I just don't think that we can say for sure that there is an element of coercion or for sure there isn't. But what I do know is that God has made man and women is different, and man has certain qualities and strengths over a woman. And I've never been a woman, and I don't plan on being a woman at any point. But I do think that from what I've read about women's experience is that, I mean, there is a certain level of coercion that you don't want to provoke a violent response, but it might not be that we don't know. There's not know, but
who doesn't want to provoke a violent response from whom?
Well, from a man that would be in a position. So, for example, a position where he has kind of a person who's not completely free to leave the situation that clearly is expressed that they want to, but that may be all a game too, because she's almost obligated socially to protest. And that's the problem with free and open
Do you think that she's
sexuality.
still obligated socially, or are we talking about somebody in 1944 that might be obligated socially? Because I'll agree with you with that. I just, as a 47-year-old married man for the last 15 years or however long it's been that I've been married, I have no idea what current dating things are like. But I hear that there's this this app called Tumblr where you just swipe on things and a willing
Tinder.
sexual
Tinder.
I'm sorry. The willing
Aren't
sexual
they banning pornography from Tumblr?
Yeah. Willing
Tumblr.
sexual partners just show up at your door. I mean, I have no idea.
So not going to the Tinder era, I would say very much I would agree with that. That in my younger years when I was on the dating scene, I mean, if you remove the element of coercion in my generation, which I'm a millennial, so I'm a little older now. We're not the youngest people anymore, but you remove the element of coercion, and honestly, there's a power imbalance where the power's all in the women's hands. I mean, I totally get that. But that's the problem with free and open sexuality, is that we all draw our lines, our personal boundaries. We're all supposed to be free to draw our personal boundaries and what no really means, when is things affirmed. in a different place, and we're all expected to have the positive right that our exact comfort levels are to be respected. And like you said, Mark, before, like, no, there isn't. Well, I'll say this: there is a certain element of a light coercion in male-female sexuality. But like what you said, no woman wants to be asked, "May I touch your leg? May I kiss you? May I hold your hand?" The absolute.
I got to disagree with this idea that there's a power imbalance here. As Mark pointed out, this isn't some dude grabbing a woman by her arm as she's walking down a dark alley and committing a violent act against her.
No, this song is about a woman who intentionally went over to this guy's house for the express purpose of staying overnight and
or whatever. We don't know what her purposes were, but she went there. And if the idea is that men are inherently larger, which is generally true, they have more upper body strength generally. If that's the idea, and she felt scared by the fact that he was able to do something physically to her, she probably wouldn't have put herself in that situation in the first place. And further, I'd like to add this, that in relationships, frequently, it is the woman who is using violence against the man. It just doesn't get reported as often.
It's true. Yeah. Free Market Penguin? Free Market Penguin made a great point, and I think that's worth pointing out is that there's a lot of layers of complexity here. As presidential candidate Bernie Sanders made clear to us, is that women they sexually fantasize about being raped.
This is from the 70s, right?
Right. Well, do you read the article? They like the rape, and so when you're dealing with so many women,
you're just not Johnson.
No, he's much better than I am. That like being raped. That
3 minute one time.
How does a man navigate this dating world when women want to be raped? Right? Like I don't know.
He said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something about 3 minute doing 3 minute one time or something. Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. But I mean,
I just don't buy it. I don't buy the power imbalance.
I have read, and it doesn't make it true, but I have read that many women fantasize about rape as men fantasize about two sexual partners. And if that's the case, then you're talking about, best I can tell, a lot of women. And
right. Well, the explanation for this has been that because of the sexual kind of atmosphere in the United States with Puritanism and all that, they've been told their whole lives that sex is bad. And so, of course, they want sex because, well, humans are naturally inclined to that sort of thing, but they've been told that they shouldn't want it. And so, therefore, the idea is that if they are raped, that therefore they can't be held responsible for having the sex that they want to have so badly. That's the explanation I've heard from women about
that. May very well be the truth, but let's not forget that rape is part of procreation in the human and animal world. I mean, that's just it. Is that when I see those roosters doing those chickens, they're not asking pretty please. Okay, they're just doing what they want to do, and what appears to be over some protests.
Well, it's not part of it in the human world.
Hogs, on the other hand,
we've moved beyond that.
Well, but okay, the human world spans 200,000 years.
Okay,
and there was some raping going on.
Now you're talking about the history of the human world.
Fine.
Okay.
If I wasn't clear enough, please forgive me.
Sure, there was pillaging and burning of villages.
Many of these women out there are the product at some point or another. If one rape occurred in the lineage from 200,000 years, and I assure you
Genghis
it did,
Khan.
We are all products of rape. Okay, so yes,
that doesn't make it okay.
I'm not claiming it makes it okay.
What's the point?
I'm claiming that historically it's in the ledger. And if whatever
there's a bunch of bad crap that's in the ledger, and the whole point is to rise above it, right?
I should hope so.
To rise above your instincts and all that. Penguin, good call. Thanks for calling with your thoughts on this issue. I appreciate it. We do still have the lyrics here of "Baby, It's Cold Outside." I think it's worth looking at these. I mean, if indeed we're supposed to find some sort of evil message here, pro-rape message or something, we should look closer at this. Hour number 2 is coming up, and you can weigh in as well. It's Free Talk Live.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Do you need extra cash to buy gifts or just to pay all those extra bills during the holidays? Well, now you can get cash fast this holiday season with a personal loan for up to $5,000 right from your phone or PC at 79cash.com. How fast can you get your cash? Well, with 79cash.com, our lenders can have your cash at your bank account as soon as tomorrow, regardless of your credit history. Just have a checking account and a regular source source of income. Go to 79cash.com and you can get the cash loan you need now. So if you need cash fast this holiday season to buy gifts or pay all those extra bills, go to 79cash.com and get the cash you need. Visit 79cash.com. Type www.79cash.com directly into the address bar. That's 79cash.com. 79cash.com. 79cash.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, December 3rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.49 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,040. Antiwar.com reports the Trump administration has settled decisively on not blaming the Saudi crown prince for murdering reporter Jamal Khashoggi. The evidence underpinning this allegation, at least from the CIA assessment, centers on intercepted messages. The Saudi crown prince was not physically in Istanbul doing the murdering, and that seems to be the sum total of the uncertainty that the administration is resting on. His closest advisor was there, however, overseeing the murder. The CIA also intercepted 11 messages from the prince to his advisor in the hours immediately leading up to and following the murder. Another intercept the CIA got from the crown prince pointed to the underlying plot itself, with the prince saying, "We could probably lure Khashoggi outside Saudi Arabia and make arrangements, even if they couldn't lure him back to Saudi Arabia." The murder plot itself may have also involved intercepted messages, according to a new lawsuit filed by a friend of Khashoggi, Omar Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz had been in contact with Khashoggi on WhatsApp in the lead up to his murder and believes that the Saudis used an Israeli company's software to hack his phone and gather information. Abdulaziz says he believes the hacking of the phone played a major role in what happened to Jamal and that the guilt is killing me. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports former FBI Director James Comey said Sunday he will testify before Congress this week after dropping a challenge to a House subpoena. Comey made the announcement on Twitter after saying he reached a deal with Republicans to make the private testimony after House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte agreed to make his comments public in the entirety after the hearing. The testimony will center on the investigation by Goodlatte and other House Republicans into the FBI and DOJ's handling of probes into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's email practices and Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. House Republicans issued subpoenas to Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch last month, and Comey issued a challenge saying he would prefer a public hearing instead of a closed-door session. He tweeted at the time, "I'm still happy to sit in line and answer all questions, but I will resist a closed-door thing because I've seen enough of their selective leaking and distortion. Let's have a hearing and invite everyone to see it." On Sunday, Goodlatte issued a statement saying the transcript of Comey's testimony would be released to the public as soon as possible after the interview in the name of our combined desire for transparency. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports the number of people listed as missing after California's deadliest wildfire has dropped again to 25, down from the high of more than 1,200 about 2 weeks ago, according to officials. The death toll from the Camp Fire that had all but obliterated the mountain town community of Paradise in Northern California stood unchanged at 88, according to the Butte County Sheriff's Department late on Saturday in a statement. On Friday, the department said 49 were missing. The roster of those unaccounted for has fluctuated widely since the fire erupted on November 8th and swept through Paradise, a town once home to about 27,000 people, about 175 miles north of San Francisco. On Wednesday, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea said search and recovery teams had finished going through the ruins of some 18,000 homes and other buildings that were incinerated. Authorities lifted evacuation orders for residents of some communities in the Magalia area north of Paradise. Traffic is still barred from entering Paradise itself, according to the Sheriff's Department. The cause of the blaze was still being investigated, but the electric utility PG&E Corp reported equipment problems near the origin of the fire around the time it began. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
People are saying it could be a baby bump. Our senior celebrity correspondent, Tyler, is here. Tyler, you always have the inside dish. What's the deal?
She looks like she got fat, so she might have a baby in her tummy.
Oh? What else have you heard?
I heard she has a boyfriend, and they have sex.
That's right. You know, the Hollywood couple vacationed in Rome together just 2 months ago.
They had a big hotel room, and I can tell you what they did in it.
Spill it, Tyler.
He put his penis in her vagina.
Hot. She is one lucky gal.
And she's going crazy.
Uh-oh. Is stardom starting to wear on Emma?
Yeah, she's crazy and dumb. She put a carrot in her vagina.
Whoa, do tell.
Yeah, she said, oh, this carrot's like my boyfriend's penis. I'm gonna rub it all over my vagina. I'm so gross. Then she ate it like Bugs Bunny.
What a hot mess. Hey, Emma, get it together, girl. Tyler, you are breaking news as always.
This is the Onion News Network.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I gotta go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Hoping that you dropped
so
in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
mine.
mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Maybe just to have a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
pour.
neighbors might
Sounds like she voluntarily went for another drink, too.
Yep.
Indicating
like that, yes.
some kind of desire to stay.
And then acting as though she doesn't know what's in the drink. It's just a game, you know?
It is,
What's in this drink? As though she doesn't know.
That there's alcohol in it?
Yeah, that there's alcohol
I see. So
in
it could be just Hawaiian punch.
It may very well have been just Hawaiian Punch. I was looking, over the break, I was looking into this song a little more, and it turns out this is not the first year this song has had controversy. It's been controversial for quite a while in feminist circles. I pulled up an article from Persephone magazine in 2010, which breaks down the song and explains exactly what's going on with that drink.
We'll get into that coming up here. This version is Adina Menzel featuring Michael Bublé. Bublé.
Sorry.
Never heard of him.
I know you haven't.
He's Holiday
He's one of the
Wishes.
few modern singers that can sing.
He sounds like he's straight out of Frank Sinatra territory.
Yeah, he really can go.
This was from 2014 here.
This song's been remade 36 times.
At least. Obviously Ms. Menzel was not offended by these lyrics because she performed them.
Well, that doesn't stop people with opinions from giving their opinions surrounding
no
gender and all these sorts of things.
Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and they're all worth about the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Just to say, you can share yours and make yours worth more by getting on the radio with it at 855-450 free.
Or you can have more people hear your crappy opinion.
Right. That's 855-450-3733. Before we continue with more discussion, let's get through this here. Let's play a little bit more of "Baby It's Cold Outside." People are offended apparently, and one radio station actually claiming, now I don't know if I believe them, but claiming that enough people called to complain that they actually took this song off of their playlist from their Christmas holiday song rotation.
In this drink,
No cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew how.
Your eyes are like starlight.
He basically said you can't get a cab. You know, it's so bad out right now, you can't even get a cab. You'll have to walk home in this, and you're already freezing. I mean, the song's basically adorable. It's cute.
This spell.
I'll take your hat.
Oh,
Your
thank you.
hair looks
I ought to say no,
Mind if I
sir.
move in
At least I'm
closer?
gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
I really
At least I'm going to say that I tried.
Tried to leave?
Yeah. Well,
a lot of this is about, and you're going to hear it in the lyrics in a moment, it's about what people will think.
Yes.
So she's worried about her family and people talking about the two of them being together for whatever reason.
Yeah, I can't remember what. It seems like there was some song back in the day where a couple was looking at the stars or something in a car and fell asleep in the car, and
and their town was all in a tissy about it.
Well, but the father or the families were going to be upset because obviously what was going on was what was going on. But I mean, if the young people stick with the "we fell asleep" story, they should stick with the "we fell asleep" story, and. Also, if it doesn't happen again, then what can the people say, right? Like if a young couple is having sex, they're going to do it again. So, I mean, I wouldn't, as a parent, I don't think it's worth bringing out the lash for a young couple that is past curfew and because they fell asleep in the car. But I can see why they would be worried about it because I've been a young person. I haven't fallen asleep in a car though, like with another person.
Baby, don't hold out. Baby, it's
cold outside. You're very pushy,
I like to think of it as opportunistic.
I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
But baby, it's cold outside.
That's the one. The answer is no, right? So
don't they say in sales that no's just an opening bargaining position?
Yes. They do say that,
and don't all children know that that's true too? Like when when they want a toy or something like that, mom and dad says no. That's just the first no, and then you gotta keep pushing them.
More. How many times have you heard a friend of yours, a guy, say that? Well, she told me no, and then weeks or months later, she reveals that she just wanted you to try harder.
It's a crazy game.
It is a crazy game, and I'm not, and I'll bet those opportunities, the situations decrease as the male becomes younger. However, I can tell you, people of my age, absolutely. I just had a conversation within the last few months with a guy who's like, yeah. I had two women approach me much later, that I was very interested in. That they told me to stop. I stopped, and they told me later they wanted me to keep going.
Then why did you say stop?
Because there's
Can they
this
answer that question? I don't even know.
weird dynamic that goes on between men and women, and who's supposed to do what and all that crap.
No fewer than 3 of them did the same thing to me in high school.
Well, this is why,
I'm your age.
I start dating coming out of prison. I came to the conclusion after a while, not immediately, after a while, that I wanted them to make all the moves. Right? Like you get me to the door, I'll go from there. But you got to get me to the door, lady. So
meaning to the door of their house after the date?
No, I mean they need to initiate sex, and then after that I can take care of myself. But,
I see.
Ultimately I made them in many cases, they had to kiss me first. They had to make moves beyond that, like, sort of touching in other places. You touch me in that place, I'll touch you in that place. That kind of thing. My chest is as good as your chest, lady. And
that worked for you?
Well, yeah, it was actually...
Yeah, it worked for me, too. So
once they figured out the system, bam, they know what to do now. So it was just like training a dog.
Oh God, Mark.
The welcome has been
How lucky that you
so
dropped in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that
My
star.
sister will be
Gosh, your lips
suspicious.
look big.
She said the welcome has been warm, so she appreciates being there. She's not wanting to leave because she's scared of him. She's not wanting to leave because he's offensive. She's worried about what people are going to think. Here she is talking about her sister's going to be suspicious.
Brother will be there at the door.
Waves upon a tropical
My
shore.
maiden aunt's mind is
Gosh,
vicious.
your lips are
Or maybe
delicious.
just a cigarette more.
Never such
I don't
a
even
blizzard
smoke.
before.
I gotta get home.
Baby, you'll freeze out there.
Say, lend me your comb.
It's up to your knees out there.
You've really been grand.
I feel when I touch your
But
hand.
don't you see?
How can you do this thing to me?
There's bound to be a talk
Where the guy's like, how could you do this to me? That's so disgusting. What a lame position.
What do you mean by that?
I just, this position that guys have taken throughout time of, oh, you leave me with azure-colored gonads, or whatever. It's just so.
I don't know if that's what
inappropriate.
He was saying there.
If you get into a sexual situation, do you want to have gotten there through guilt?
No.
Right. It's like it's one thing.
I don't think that's what's happening here, Mark. They're not in a sexual. They're not about to. He's not about to take his clothes off with this woman. They're close on a couch or something like that. They're in front of a fire. He says, "I feel when I touch your hand," or thrill or whatever when I touch your hand, and then asks, "How can you do this thing to me?" Like, oh, you're so great, and now you want to leave. And I don't know if that necessarily means he's got what you were describing.
I think a lot of people believe that this song is leading towards sex.
I think the suggestion is that could be coming later.
Maybe he's saying that ironically, but
at this point, he's just asking her to stay.
Yes.
They're not in the midst of about ready to take their clothes off.
She has to stay in order for the sex.
She's got to have another drink and
apparently a cigarette. She doesn't smoke.
My lifelong
At least there'll be plenty implied.
You got pneumonia and
I really can't.
She says, again, the concern about what people are going to think. There's bound to be talk tomorrow. At least there will be plenty implied. So sort of joking about, oh, well, people are going to think what they're going to think. But she was concerned about that. And then she gets over it.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today, the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
When do you want to spot that burglar? When he's casing your home or after he's in? Ask John, whose Blink cameras alerted him of burglars trying to break in while his family was home. Or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a package thief. Blink motion-activated cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 AA batteries that last up to 2 years. Save up to a whopping 40% off all add-on cameras and systems through December 22nd while supplies last. Visit blinkprotect.com/holiday. blinkprotect.com/holiday.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free, and you can bring up whatever is on your mind. We've been talking about the controversy, surprising controversy that apparently isn't brand new.
It only surprises you.
The latest version of it. Yeah, because it seems like such a innocent little song. It's cute. The Baby It's Cold Outside is what we're talking about here, that one radio station in Cleveland has apparently taken off their playlist. Not sure if they're doing it as a stunt or what, but it's certainly getting them a lot of publicity. People all across, all around the planet probably are talking about this.
Yeah.
And it led to a conversation about relationships and boundaries.
Consent.
And what somebody means when they say no. Yeah, it's getting a little difficult to handle this stuff. Dave in Big Sky is in our Twitch chat over at twitch.lrn.fm. I suspect that's Dave in Montana based on the way he's been talking in there. But he says she's playing hard to get. It's all part of the foreplay. He says, further, many times women told me to stop, and when I did, they say, "What are you doing?" And I said, "You said no." So it can be a very confusing set of signals.
I have some idea of Dave's age, too. He's called in many times.
I think he's in his 50s or
I think
early
he's older
60s.
than I am. And I think that this is a clash to some extent of generations too. I think that the feminists of old understood the consent issue, and I think that there's a consent issue involved in this. I just don't, but it probably would be very confusing, the situation, if what if he was like, okay, then get out. Right, and now you're dealing with a situation where you've just kicked a woman.
He threw me into the cold.
Out in the cold with no cab.
Yeah.
I don't really understand.
So we can continue. Your calls and thoughts are welcome here. Michael, you've got a feminist's opinion about this that we can get into in just a moment. But first, let's go to Sarah. She's in New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live.
Oh, yes. I am in favor of the Russians invading Ukraine and turning it into a communist government.
Russia's not a communist state anymore, right? At least not officially.
Well, they are communists. Why are they invading Ukraine? Because they're going to go in there and turn it back the way it was and make it communist.
Boy, I thought I didn't have a grasp on international politics.
Yeah. So the Soviet Union ended in 1989, I think. Yeah. And no, that was when the Berlin Wall fell.
Yeah.
I think it was like 1991
Shortly
or something
after
for
that,
the Soviet Union, and voted itself out of existence. It no longer exists. There's
the USSR does not exist anymore.
Right.
They broke up.
There's really no governments out there that you could call communist anything. You could call them authoritarian.
Well, hold on. Some of them call themselves communist.
Which
so
ones?
North Korea.
Yeah, it's not. It's just authoritarian.
Well, okay.
It's obvious. It's obvious they are still communist, and the switchover is that they're going to.
Why is that obvious?
Kick out all the capitalists.
Okay.
But why are they inviting? Why are they opposed? Why are they supposed to be our enemy if they're capitalists? Explain that.
It's not a choice between capitalism and communism. You understand that, right? Those are two different economic systems. But as Mark pointed out, many of these governments are just straight up authoritarian. They're happy to have you doing business in your country so long as you're paying them a portion of the money that you're making. They don't really care.
That's what it's about. They want your money so they can stay in power.
Correct.
Well, what they're going to do is when they take over, when they go into Ukraine, they're going to kick out all the billionaire capitalists and make everybody the same. That's one of the things that they're going to do. And
what world are you living in right now? It's not 1955.
It's one with a library that has Animal Farm that you could check out and figure out very quickly that some of the animals would be more equal than others. People will not all be all the same.
Right.
The politicians in Russia, they had cars. The rest of the people, they didn't.
I suspect the politicians had cars that were imported as well, not the crappy Russian.
They had cars that worked.
Yeah. And with chauffeurs.
Wait a minute. Well, when Trump tried to build his tower in Moscow for many years, and then they rejected it. So
hold on, I thought they were on Trump's side. I thought the whole theory was that Trump is teamed up with the Russians. Now you're saying they've rejected him?
That's a big con. That's a big con because.
But isn't that the Democratic viewpoint right now? Isn't that the official Democrat, talking point that Trump is in with the Russians? Did I miss something, or isn't that what happened?
That's the point.
Well, that's a deceit. That's a fake news to confuse everybody.
So the Democrats have been. Does that mean the Democrats are making fake news about Trump, or the Democrats are confused about Trump and they're making news because they're misinformed?
Well, I have no idea what the Democrats are doing, but they rejected Trump Tower because the symbol is of capitalism because he's a multi-billionaire capitalist.
Who rejected Trump Tower? The Russians?
Moscow. He's been trying to build it there. So that
he probably just didn't grease the right palms. That's all it usually is when it comes to, construction project getting approved or not getting approved. You just got to give money to the right bureaucrats.
Yeah, I doubt very seriously you're dealing with a situation where some principled
ideology,
ideologist was going to refuse to allow Trump to build a hotel.
No, that's just not happening.
They already have hotels in Moscow.
Listen, if they're a capitalist, why is that a big threat if they invade South Korea? They're going to start a war in Ukraine. Why is that a big threat to the capitalist?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What does South Korea have to do with this? I'm sorry, I missed where South Korea came in on this.
Well, South Korea, they're going to, they shot out artillery. They're going to invade South Korea, drop of a hat. They declared it.
Russia?
They're going to war. North Korea. And
No, they're not. Okay, look, Sarah, there was a meeting earlier this year. Maybe you missed it. I mean, I understand people aren't paying attention to all the international news. This was one of the bigger headlines where North Korea's Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, and also I think Sun Moon Park, I'm not sure what his name is, the president of South Korea, they've all gotten together at this point, and North Korea has actually indicated they're ready to end the war. So
they had a big thing in Singapore a few months ago.
Right. It was historic. The first meeting between a North Korean dear leader and a president of the United States in the history of North Korea. So longer than some people's lifetimes, this has never happened. It happened for the first time this year, and they came to an agreement. Now, what the status is of the agreement, I haven't checked recently.
Still a little murky.
Yeah, I mean, have they ended the war yet? Not officially, but they did talk about it.
A train just went from South Korea to North Korea,
really,
carrying people to see their relatives.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
So lots of things are happening.
There have been these symbolic things that have happened.
I think that it is only fair that Trump get credit for this.
He should get credit for it. Yeah.
I don't.
Now I have read that they are starting to remove some of the landmines from the DMZ and some of the soldiers.
Oh yeah, they're bringing down the DMZ.
They took down the propaganda speakers that were blasting propaganda across the DMZ. They released some American prisoners of war that they had been holding on to for a while. I mean, there have been multitudes of... North Korea even changed its time zone back to match South Korea. So, like, these little kind of symbolic gestures have been going on over the last year. Not only does Trump deserve credit, but Kim Jong-un deserves credit. Now, both of these people, I don't care for their governments and most of the things that they do. But at least in this particular area, they seem to be getting it right. So the idea that there's some sort of imminent war in North Korea and South Korea is less likely now than it's been in the entire history of North Korea. Thank you for the call, Sarah. There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today and save $10 on the Bug Beam Laser Combo, only at bugassault.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial in here, toll free, bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. And I'm glad Sarah called in tonight because she got us on to North Korea, and I hadn't seen any updates. I just hadn't been looking for them. But there are updates about this. And Mark, you'd seen the story about the first train going from South Korea into North Korea, carrying just normal passengers. Not military equipment or anything, just passengers going up to North Korea. The first time in apparently a decade. And there's more to that story. Plus, Donald Trump in headlines within the last 24 hours saying he likes Kim Jong-un and will fulfill Chairman Kim's wishes. We can tell you about all of that. And, of course, take your calls and thoughts about what you want. Speaking of wishes, holiday wishes. You want to get something good for the people that you care about? How about the Blink home security system? Because if you want to spot the burglar before they get in the house or after, it really could be up to whether or not you've got the Blink home security system installed. You can ask John, whose Blink camera alerted him of burglars trying to break in while his family was home, or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a thief stealing packages. Blink motion-activated cameras are wireless. They set up in minutes and run on 2 AA batteries that last up to 2 years. I'm well over a year on the Blink camera here at the studio, and I have not had a low battery warning at all. So
I haven't changed them out either.
I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I know it'll happen at some point. I'll let you know how long they last. But Blink camera systems make great holiday gifts. So visit blinkprotect.com/holiday. That's blinkprotect.com/holiday.
I'm looking at they're on sale right now.
I was going to say, I feel like this is old copy. I think there's a 40% off.
Yeah, 40% off. Right now, I'm looking at a Blink XT 1 camera system. This is the lowest price one. But I'm so happy with my Blink system. I believe you can get many people in America can cover the important parts of their house with one camera. And if you can't, there's a 2-camera system. It's on sale too. But the 1-camera system, it's at $78.99. Man, that is just such a good value for this system. I got to say that I think it's a good idea. If you get the 1-camera indoor system, that was the outdoor one.
Outdoor for under $100.
Yes.
Okay.
Under $75.
Under $80,
No, I'm sorry, under $79. Excuse me, $78.99. The indoor one, $66.99, and that. So you're talking about $67 for this system. That is a real bargain. Works with Alexa, no wiring, easy to set up. I can do it. That means you can. I'm just impressed with it.
Yeah, so up to 40% off on all add-on cameras and systems through December 22nd. So your time is limited on that discount.
Well, of course it is.
Blinkprotect.com/holiday. Blink is an Amazon company. So let's see here. Stuff.co.nz out of New Zealand. So in the region, North Korea eyes becoming a tourist destination as DMZ standoff tensions eases with the South.
It's working with Cuba.
There are a few places in the world that carry the same air of threat and mystique as North Korea and the infamous DMZ, or Demilitarized Zone.
They'll have to throw a few tourists in jail every year to just sort of retain that.
Just to let them know they're serious.
Yeah.
That separates it from the South. An international flashpoint for decades, the heavily fortified border is lined with soldiers from both sides who stand guard within meters of each other at the joint security area where the demarcation line is drawn.
It's not. And by the way, like the video, the photos from this DMZ over the years, it just seems very intense, right? These men just stand there and it's basically a staring contest the entire time they're on duty.
I don't think I would have the discipline in that circumstance. Like if I became angry at the guy at which I'm staring and I'm armed at the same time, and day after day, I don't know if I'd have the discipline.
It's not so long ago that nuclear testing by the rogue nation sparked the threat of war, and only last December, North Korean soldiers shot and nearly killed a soldier who was defecting over the border. But as tensions ease and both countries work toward a November 30th deadline to disarm the border, which presumably has passed, talk has already turned to making the area a major tourist attraction.
I think that's what Trump went in with as his Trump card,
pitch,
as it were. It's a Trump hotel. Like basically saying, look, man, hey, I'm a hotelier. I build things. I can show you. How would you like to have a lot of money? How about that, huh? Obviously, I have a terrible Trump accent. But nonetheless, I think that was what he was leading with is, look, we're not proposing to get rid of you. We're not proposing any of this stuff. Just open up them borders, make me look good with this deal, and
let's do business.
Yeah, I'm going to bring some hotels in here. It's going to be a hot time in the summer tonight for you.
What I'm curious about is
basketball players, everything you want.
This deadline here, the article that I'm reading was published on the 2nd. So I have to wonder when this deadline is. It November 30th? Yeah, apparently it's November 30th of this year. So in another related story, just to kind of interrupt that, just about this deadline, story from ABC News from November 20th, North Korea blew up 10 of its frontline guard posts on the demilitarized zone.
Yeah, they sure did.
There's a video of the explosions happening here.
We don't want to show that on TV, though, because it'll make it look like it's too close to the election. Trump would look too good.
Well, they did show it on TV. This is from ABC News.
I'm not hearing it on NPR, and I listen every day.
Oh, they didn't have the sound effect from the explosion. It's just newsy sounding music. But my God, these are humongous explosions. I mean, big bang. I mean, this is a show.
Yeah, they know how to blow things up in North Korea.
Yeah, this is a show.
Including family members.
So anyway, in accordance with agreements made with South Korea...
I am never going to North Korea because I'm afraid that they would get some of the audio from the show. So one of my haters out there...
You thought you had trouble with the FBI.
One of my haters out there would just go ahead and splice some stuff together, send it to the North Korean consulate, and then I'd never leave.
The explosions were carried out simultaneously within a 4-minute time frame after the North notified.
That is not simultaneously.
South.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Of the project, according to South Korea's defense
I learned what
ministry.
simultaneous meant from Monty Python's Flying Circus, and that's not it.
North Korean soldiers have been destroying the brick structures over the past couple of weeks. Analysts say they most likely decided to demolish the guard posts all at once to meet the November 30th deadline. North Korean guard post that used to oversee the South Korean side of the heavily fortified border was covered in black and white smoke after debris filled the air at the moment of the explosion. Video provided by South Korea's defense ministry showed the process of dismantling the posts. South Korea is also in the process of tearing down 10 concrete guard posts using excavators instead of dynamite for environmental reasons.
Yeah. That seems like good advice. I would hope that all the guards in South Korea were warned that they're going to be blowing up these things. Can you imagine?
I'm sure they were.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
Right, and you're suggesting that might make a trigger-happy guard start shooting or something.
Make them crazy,
like that.
Yeah.
We aim to verify the dismantlement and ultimately withdrawal all guard posts in both North and South Korean border military demarcation lines, said Choi Hyun-so, South Korea's defense ministry spokesperson, during a briefing on Tuesday. The demolition of guard posts on both sides of the border at the DMZ is part of a series of moves that South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un have agreed to completely demilitarize the joint security area during the third Inter-Korean summit in September. Both sides had already withdrawn all firearms from a joint security area in Panmunjom, and military presence was limited last month to 35 unarmed military personnel each. The next step will be to open up both sides of Panmunjom to the public for guided tour groups by early next month. Skeptics in Seoul.
That's just money, money, money for North Korea.
Sure is.
Oh, yeah.
Skeptics, however, in Seoul say denuclearization talks must proceed before any of these inter-Korean arms control measures are carried out. Why? I mean, look, these people are just trying to be skeptical for the sake of being skeptical, and I don't blame them when essentially North Korea has reneged on many of its promises in the past. But I mean, this has been a year of
better relations is better relations, and you shouldn't sacrifice it based on some.
You
goal.
want A to come before B or B to come before A or whatever. These are significant, not just symbolic, but significant changes that they have implemented over the last 8 months. And they ought to be applauded. There's more coming up here in moments. You can share your thoughts with us. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's Free Talk Live.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. MyPillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-951-5617 and use promo code FTL. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
You may need this herbal tea for relief right away, so write this down. DRMILLERS clinic.com. If you take meds, then suffer stomach distress, constipation, indigestion, acid reflux, and bloating, and nothing else helps, get Dr. Miller's Holy Tea or Super Holy Tea, a cleansing, detoxifying herbal tea now available at great rates direct from Dr. Miller's office. Call or click 888-660-7039 or DRMILLERS clinic.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Bring up anything that you want. Take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian,
Michael,
and Mark.
We're talking about some good news. A little bit of good news coming out of international headlines where North Korea and South Korea have been dismantling and or blowing up, as in the case of North Korea, their guard posts along the DMZ. Apparently November 30th was the deadline to demilitarize said DMZ, and now stuff.co.nz is saying that they're in fact looking at making the DMZ into a tourist destination. I mean, it already kind of was. People would still go and see it, from what I understand, but a more actually designated for tourists kind of designation. We'll share more of that with you here as Trump apparently coming out saying he likes Kim Jong-un and intends to fulfill his wishes. There's a lot more coming here on that. Of course, your calls and thoughts are welcome. By the way, I do want to make sure that you know about freetalklive.com, the fact that we've got email updates for you. If you go to freetalklive.com, there's an email sign-up box there toward the top of the website. Just drop your email in there. We'll send you an email, usually no more than once a week, just to keep you in the loop with what's going on with Free Talk Live. Recent updates, for instance, have highlighted the fact that we've got a couple new radio stations on board with the show, and also the new Free Talk Live after shows that we've been doing exclusive on the Twitch platform over at twitch.lrn.fm. So if you want the latest news in your email box, just sign up for our email list over at freetalklive.com. As we go to the phones, to the fun, somebody listed as Pranker. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead. Pranker? Going once. Oh, what a disappointment. Must have hung up or something like
Probably
that.
got scared. He's hyperventilating right now.
The pressure is on. So they're talking about the border here and the dismantling of the various militarism around the DMZ. As tensions ease, this from stuff.co.nz, and both countries work towards the November 30th deadline to disarm the border, which obviously has already passed. Talk has turned to making the area a major tourist attraction, with the dust barely settled on a series of explosions to blow up the North Korean guard posts to meet the deadline. North Korea is reportedly developing a tour program for foreigners to visit. South Korea is also making plans to turn the joint security area into a major tourism attraction themed on peace. The tours would take tourists across the demarcation line and the 50-centimeter wide cement slab where North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korea's President Moon Jae-in embraced during their historic meeting earlier this year. DMZ tourism is already a big revenue earner for South Korea, and a constant stream of tour buses delivers 1.2 million.
That's got to rankle the North Koreans. The idea that
there's a lot of money there.
Yeah, making a lot of money over just coming and taking tourists and saying,
"Here, take a picture.
Take a look at this.
Yep.
Hey, see that stone-faced North Korean guard there? Get his picture from here.
Right.
Use our telephoto lens, right? I mean, whatever it is, we've got a solution for you."
And South Korea has a constant stream of tour buses delivering 1.2 million foreigners and South Koreans to surrounding tourist attractions daily. Jostling for their attention among the more somber memorials to the decades-long Korean conflict are traditional Korean food stalls, a string of souvenir shops, even coffee bars, and high-end makeup stores. There's also a children's fun park and mock-ups of the JSA where tourists queued to pose for photographs.
Run from our machine gun that shoots tennis balls.
At a hilltop,
participate in a mock hanging.
At a hilltop observatory, tourists can gaze across at South Korea, but for now, that is as close as it gets after the JSA was closed to media and tourists due to heightened sensitivities around the current peace talks. But while the area has potential to be a lucrative tourism earner for the two Koreas, that's not the only motivation for President Moon, who's provided much of the impetus for the current peace process. It's hoped that opening the border to tourists will help ease tensions in the Korean peninsula, which has long lived under the threat of war. I mean, technically, they're still at war after 60 years, basically. And that's what they're trying to end. They're trying to do these symbolic and actual gestures of demilitarization, of denuclearization, to the point where at some point they're going to sit down, hopefully, and sign some kind of a end of war
peace
document, peace treaty. And I think they're moving in the right direction here. It seems so unlikely that the direction is going to reverse at this point. I sure hope it doesn't. I'm sure would take something pretty outrageous.
Well, what it would take is somebody demanding something unreasonable.
Yeah.
So if, for instance, somebody on the South Korean side manages to get some power and says, well, we're not going to sign this unless Kim Jong-un steps down as supreme leader or whatever the term is.
And then it's no-go.
Right, of course it's a no-go. Or the people on the north side say that the South Koreans have to abdicate, or whatever they say.
After years of punitive sanctions, an impoverished North Korea is in desperate need of new sources of revenue and the boost that it will bring to its economy. I would also add, after years of communism in North Korea, because it's not just the fact that there's sanctions that are causing the problems in North Korea. No doubt, sanctions make it more difficult to trade internationally, and that is going to put some restrictions on your life. But if they had the freedom to make their own food, the freedom to own their own property, the freedom to start their own business in North Korea, instead of having it all controlled by the government, they would be doing better than they currently are.
I hate calling authoritarianism communism, because communism, I spent my high school years looking into this stuff. I was an anarcho-commie in high school, and I read the books. Communism is heaven. It's the idea that we're all going to just share things, that property doesn't even really exist. It's impossible in a human sphere. And what they had in North Korea was a controlled authoritarian economy that, of course, was highly rigid and unable to deal with things like drought and that sort of thing.
After years of sanctions, Moon has used that to reach out to his impoverished neighbor and seed the promise that with peace there will be greater prosperity.
And there will.
And indeed, Trump backed that up as well. They even made a movie for Kim Jong-un to watch. I don't know if you remember that part of the story.
No, I don't remember that part.
They made like a propaganda film, basically, that Trump showed Kim Jong-un to show, how much better things could be in North Korea if there was some modicum of freedom brought to that country. And
well, at that point, you don't have a translator fumbling over words or anything like that. It's a great idea to put together basically a PowerPoint, a high-end PowerPoint.
Well, it's a video.
Correct. Yeah. On Friday, South Korean survey train crossed the heavily guarded border into North Korea with a survey team on board to assess repairing the country's decrepit rail network. But
they can't keep choo-choos going. That's technology from the 1850s.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, if you've ever watched any of the documentaries about North Korea, their transportation is dismal over there. It's breaking down constantly.
Well, if you're talking about a decrepit rail system, you're just talking about people keeping tracks level and straight and in the right position. I mean, that's not hard. That's relatively simple stuff. It requires labor, but in this country, we did it with Irish workmen.
The rail excursion required a special UN exemption, and South Korean officials have been at pains to point out that it's for the purposes of a survey only. That's because any efforts by South Korea to help the North upgrade its railway would flout current sanctions. Officials insist, however, that the survey is a goodwill gesture to the North and a promise of things to come for North Korea if it complies with the demands to disarm. Moon, who's due in New Zealand on Sunday, is fresh from a G20 summit where he met with Donald Trump in the hope of the U.S. bending on his policy of engagement. But he reportedly came away empty-handed with the U.S. concern that despite North Koreans' rhetoric, there are a few visible or concrete signs of denuclearization. So
they blew up the guard post. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it is a visible, obvious, symbolic gesture.
I can see why North Korea would not want to give up nuclear weapons. If you're standing in a room full of people with guns pointed at each other, do you really want to put your gun in your holster?
Do you really want to give up your gun?
Right. I mean, that's basically what's being asked here.
Yeah, but then again, Kim Jong-un will probably eat better once they
he looks like he's eating fine.
He's eating well. Who's going to eat better is the regular people outside of Pyongyang.
And of course he doesn't care.
That's true. But look, the fact is, even though Kim Jong is doing fine as far as his weight is concerned, I mean, he's going to have more options in a place where there's more freedom. It's just a fact.
He's going to have better entertainment.
Rich people are better and richer in richer countries.
The internet is nice.
Yeah. So the toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. We're going to continue here with the latest on Trump and his relationship with North Korea, Kim Jong-un. And apparently they're looking at possibly putting another meeting together with the two in January or February. Already, Kim Jong-un expected to travel down into South Korea for a meeting with the South Korean president in December.
He can hit all those great restaurants while he's down there.
I bet he will. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Go catch a little K-pop while he's there.
I hear there's a North Korean K-pop band.
It's Free Talk Live. More coming up.
How well and how fast does Heart and Body Extract work to improve blood circulation? Listen.
My name is Ellis, and I am 66 years old, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed as having clogged arteries. I had 70% blockage in one artery leading to my heart. They wanted me to go on Plavix, but I refused, knowing the negative side effects.
Heart and Body Extract is a unique balance, synergy, and proportion of herbs reaching from head to toe at maximum absorption around 95% at the cellular level.
Within the first month, I felt a dramatic difference. The heaviness in my legs was reduced, and within 2 months, I felt completely normal.
Your natural organic herbal formula for heart health is Heart and Body Extract. Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract. Call 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, December 3rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.49 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,040. Antiwar.com reports the Trump administration has settled decisively on not blaming the Saudi Crown Prince for murdering reporter Jamal Khashoggi. The evidence underpinning this allegation, at least from the CIA assessment, centers on intercepted messages. The Saudi Crown Prince was not physically in Istanbul doing the murdering, and that seems to be the sum total of the uncertainty that the administration is resting on. His closest advisor was there, however, overseeing the murder. The CIA also intercepted 11 messages from the prince to his advisor in the hours immediately leading up to and following the murder. Another intercept the CIA got from the Crown Prince pointed to the underlying plot itself, with the prince saying, "We could probably lure Khashoggi outside Saudi Arabia and make arrangements, even if they couldn't lure him back to Saudi Arabia." The murder plot itself may have also involved intercepted messages, according to a new lawsuit filed by a friend of Khashoggi, Omar Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz had been in contact with Khashoggi on WhatsApp in the lead up to his murder and believes that the Saudis used an Israeli company's software to hack his phone and gather information. Abdulaziz says he believes the hacking of the phone played a major role in what happened to Jamal and that the guilt is killing me. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend a Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend a Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports former FBI Director James Comey said Sunday he will testify before Congress this week after dropping a challenge to a House subpoena. Comey made the announcement on Twitter after saying he reached a deal with Republicans to make the private testimony after House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte agreed to make his comments public in the entirety after the hearing. The testimony will center on the investigation by Goodlatte and other House Republicans into the FBI and DOJ's handling of probes into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's email practices and Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. House Republicans issued subpoenas to Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch last month, and Comey issued a challenge saying he would prefer a public hearing instead of a closed-door session. He tweeted at the time, "I'm still happy to sit in line and answer all questions, but I will resist a closed-door thing because I've seen enough of their selective leaking and distortion. Let's have a hearing and invite everyone to see it." On Sunday, Goodlatte issued a statement saying the transcript of Comey's testimony would be released to the public as soon as possible after the interview in the name of our combined desire for transparency. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community, HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports the number of people listed as missing after California's deadliest wildfire has dropped again to 25, down from the high of more than 1,200 about 2 weeks ago, according to officials. The death toll from the Camp Fire that had all but obliterated the mountain town community of Paradise in Northern California stood unchanged at 88, according to the Butte County Sheriff's Department late on Saturday in a statement. On Friday, the department said 49 were missing. The roster of those unaccounted for has fluctuated widely since the fire erupted on November 8th and swept through Paradise, a town once home to about 27,000 people, about 175 miles north of San Francisco. On Wednesday, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea said search and recovery teams had finished going through the ruins of some 18,000 homes and other buildings that were incinerated. Authorities lifted evacuation orders for residents of some communities in the Magalia area north of Paradise. Traffic is still barred from entering Paradise itself, according to the Sheriff's Department. The cause of the blaze was still being investigated, but the electric utility PG&E Corp reported equipment problems near the origin of the fire around the time it began. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
The Tallahassee Zoo, which faced a major budget crisis. Luckily, they were able to get both, keep guests and animals happy and stay profitable.
And that's thanks to the zoo's new director, Maxwell Jeffries.
Happy to be here, thank you.
Good morning.
Now, what's the most profitable part of the zoo? The elephants, the tigers?
No, the gift shop, okay? Food court. But now the entire zoo is the gift shop. So you come to the zoo, you look around, you see something you like, make me an offer. I'm a businessman. I want to make people happy. You're probably familiar with the old saying, don't feed the animals.
Oh, right, of course.
Okay, well, that's old-fashioned thinking. At our zoo, you can feed the animals.
Anything you want?
Anything you want. Oats, eggs, batteries, you name it. And we also invented a new tiered membership system. So for your standard membership, you go to the zoo, you get to see the animals. For your gold level membership, you get to pick any two animals, make them fight each other. Yeah. And then with a platinum, you get 1 hour alone in the zoo. No questions asked. Yeah.
Wow.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program here. You're invited, as you always are, to take control of the airwaves and bring up whatever is on your mind. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. And we've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. So join us over there. Get on the air with us. And in the studio, it's Ian,
Michael,
and Mark.
So we've been talking about everything from North Korea and demilitarization, which has been happening. They had a North Korea, South Korea had a November 30th deadline to effectively demilitarize the border. And North Korea, well, they were running out of time, so they just went ahead and blew up their guard checkpoints, things that they had along the border. At least 10 of them completely exploded. in pretty amazing video footage too. So that happened, and they're working towards further summits and agreements towards actually ending the war. We also started out the show talking about some controversy in the area of a song that Baby It's Cold Outside that apparently some people are offended by. One radio station in Cleveland apparently taking it off their playlist. And we looked at some of the lyrics, and we couldn't figure out what exactly was so offensive about it. But it led to I think a more important discussion about power dynamics and relationships and how things have changed over decades in how men and women interact with one another.
And we came to no conclusions, mind you.
Sure. And Michael Hampton's here with us. He found a story written by apparently a feminist analyzing the song as well. So I want to get into that. But I did mention further on the North Korean topic that Donald Trump, and this is a headline from The Guardian as of yesterday over at theguardian.com. Headline, Donald Trump likes North Korean leader and will fulfill Chairman Kim's wishes. Donald Trump wants Kim Jong-un to know he likes him and will fulfill his wishes, according to South Korean President Moon Jae-in on Sunday, day after meeting the U.S. president at the G20 summit in Argentina. Moon, who's hoping to host Kim on the first ever trip to Seoul by a North Korean leader. First ever.
Yeah.
In the history of North Korea, as agreed earlier this year, said Trump had asked him to pass on a message. Quote, the message is that President Trump has very favorable views toward Chairman Kim, and he likes him, said Moon to reporters on a flight to New Zealand, where he started a 3-day state visit Sunday. Quote, as such, he asked me to tell Chairman Kim that he wants to implement the rest of their agreement together, and he will fulfill Chairman Kim's wishes. And I guess one of the wishes that, if I recall from their summit, was ostensibly that Kim wants
Choco pies?
They got a lot of choco pies in North Korea, but you're referring to the form of payment in certain North Korean factories where workers are actually paid with choco pies.
It's become a sort of currency.
Kind of like a tasteless, almost, it's not a very good snack.
It's a moon pie.
Yeah.
It's a small moon pie.
Not a very good one.
Not in my opinion.
As such,
have you tasted one?
Yes.
Somebody sent us a box full of choco pies
from North Korea,
wherever it is they're made.
Probably South Korea.
Yeah, I don't think they're made
in North Korea.
But it might even be made in China. I don't know. But either way, one of the wishes I think was that Kim said he wanted protection from the United States. He said, "Hey, if I'm going to give up on these nuclear weapons, I want your agreement that you're going to protect me." Basically, and Trump seemed to be willing to do that. So maybe that's one of the wishes. I'm not sure what the other ones are. While striking, the avowal of affection was not as strident as one offered by Trump in September. Then the president drew applause at a campaign rally by describing beautiful letters he'd exchanged with Kim and saying, "We fell in love, okay?"
Well,
Trump, who met Kim in Singapore in June.
Seems like plenty.
Said on Saturday he's likely to meet the North Korean leader next January or in February with 3 sites under consideration. He said from Air Force One, quote, "We're getting along very well. We have a good relationship."
Didn't mention being in love, all right.
Trump added that at some point he will invite Kim to the U.S. Kim and Trump pledged at their first meeting to work towards denuclearization, although the two sides have since made little progress. The White House said in a statement Saturday after Trump's meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Sometimes big deals require more than one meeting. That I think it's a great idea. Let's get Kim Jong-un into the United States. Bring him to the NBA Finals. I don't know when that is.
Get Dennis Rodman in there.
Right, but surround him. Get Michael Jordan, LeBron, Dennis Rodman. Not that Rodman belongs in that crowd, mind you, but Rodman's a mainstay in North Korea. Bring out some basketball stars and wow this guy that loves basketball. Take him to Trump Tower or some other hotel. Take him to some casinos. Give him a show. Showgirls kicking and the whole deal.
See, Kim, this is what it looks like when a hotel's finished.
Yeah.
Because there's been a hotel, like their Star Hotel in Pyongyang, that's been under construction for like decades.
Well, there's no point in finishing it. There's only the point in having a couple of floors and making it look like it's much bigger than it is. That's it. That hotel is fulfilling its goal, its purpose.
So the White House said in a statement that they are hoping Kim will strive to see a nuclear-free Korean peninsula, and that the Chinese president and Trump both agreed that great progress has been made with respect to North Korea. Trump has frequently described a warm personal relationship with Kim, arguing that this will help achieve a diplomatic breakthrough. Trump's critics say warm words have failed to yield concrete concessions from one of the world's most authoritarian states. Moon said in a second summit that between Kim and Trump will prove to be the most critical moment for North Korean denuclearization.
Yeah, I think that Un probably doesn't have the power that the Western press suggests that he does. I think that
you think he's beholden to the committee or whatever.
Yeah, there's some
Communist
kind
Party?
of there's this committee of soldiers that want to give themselves medals so badly that they line them down their pants. Guys, you haven't fought anything, you haven't done anything. There's no reason for medals. The Korean War has been over for many decades, but whatever. I guess they're getting medals for writing memos when they were a lieutenant or something, and those guys have some power.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they do, but he is called the supreme leader of North Korea.
It's a cult of personality.
He doesn't.
And Trump
have
is
that much
called the
personality.
chief executive of the United States.
That's another cult of personality.
So again, not a huge fan of these governments. Not a huge fan of presidents and supreme leaders and all that. But I will say, I'll give credit where credit's due.
Right, because I think you try to be fair.
Yeah. And the fact is, Trump deserves a lot of credit for this. No other president before him was ever able to have a conversation in person with the North Korean supreme leader, with the dear leader over there. It's just never happened before, and the fact that Trump could do it. Now, there was, I think Dunker pointed out in our chat room on Twitch that it wasn't Dunker, it was Carolina Rebel, pointed out that we may actually owe a lot of this to Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Because Dennis Rodman paved the ground for Trump, I think, by going over there and really being the first American to meet with Kim Jong-un in any kind of meaningful manner. And they had, of course, the basketball. There was some sort of a basketball event that was going to go on with a special team coming in from the United States to play the North Korean team. And Rodman was a part of that situation. And they hit it off. And that seemed to really be the kind of the
I think
spark.
it's time for President Trump to give Rodman the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, right on. So toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE if you want to join us. So back to song lyrics, unless y'all have more to say.
Obama gave one to his vice president. If that's not the most self-serving thing, just go ahead.
Anything
Medals
else
for everyone.
on North Korea?
No.
Guys, all right. So we'll keep you in the loop as that situation continues to develop. Hopefully it will continue to develop positively. I mean, it's every time we look at what's going on there's always some little bit of good news about, oh, look, they just blew up their guard posts. Amazing.
It's a big deal.
It's amazing to see, and I personally, I think I actually do want to go tour the area at some point.
Yeah.
In a year or two when it's settled down a little.
It definitely seems like an interesting place to visit. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
I don't know that I could get that level of anonymity. I've been doing Free Talk Live too long.
You're too worried they're going to know who you are.
Ian and I have disparaged North Korea too often.
You could stay on the South Korean side. Look through binoculars.
Yeah.
If you want. All right, so more coming up here. Your calls and thoughts welcome. We're going to get into a feminist's opinion. And this isn't from this week. This is from 2010 or something like that.
This is from 2010.
About Baby It's Cold Outside. Come back around to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, because I want to hear what a feminist has to say about this in moments. 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, you can join us on the radio. It's Free Talk Live.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere, from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. Get your Blink camera system starting at less than $100 by visiting blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. MyPillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-951-5617 and use promo code FTL. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Quiet and reserved temp Kevin Bright surprised his coworkers this week when they discovered that the mild-mannered 27-year-old was actually an untalented singer-songwriter.
How did I get here? It's probably a tree.
Bright, who mostly keeps to himself at work, usually spends his free time embarrassing himself at open mics across the city, and that underneath his meek and soft-spoken exterior is a terrible guitarist with no musical sensibility whatsoever.
You see him in the office, he's this quiet, reserved kid, and you would never think, oh, he's got a great voice and a wonderful stage presence, and you'd be totally right.
In other news, an Ohio Film Festival graphic designer decides to go with film reels for the O's. And getting grandma into a family reunion t-shirt is a 3-person job. The entire 144-minute cut of this week's review is available now for just $11.99 on Laserdisc. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got your Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. And Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter, with many of the world's leading brands on their roster, like Applebee's, Domino's, Home Depot, Uber, Hotels.com, Nike, and hundreds more. It's now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these steps. Go to giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight, and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. It's giftcards.bitcoin.com. As we continue here, Michael, you found a story by a feminist. It's a little too lengthy. You're going to give us some excerpts on Baby It's Cold Outside, the controversy that apparently didn't just start in 2018.
No, this seems to come up every year or so.
Somebody gets all upset about the fact that this song exists and it's
never heard it before, doesn't understand the era that it came from.
Yeah, I would say the lyrics are pretty innocent and cute, and it's a fun little back and forth with a duet song. In fact, I've been looking for a new duet song to sing at karaoke, so I'm probably going to try this one out.
This might actually work.
At some point,
might actually work.
But
nobody's going to sing this with you, dude.
You'd be surprised, actually. Anyway, go ahead, Michael, with the story. And where's it from?
So this is from Persephone Magazine, which is a feminist blog.
Sounds like a feminist, right?
By Slay Bell. Listening while feminist.
Is it spelled SLAYBELLE?
Yes,
okay.
That's exactly how it's spelled. Listening while feminist in defense of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh, she's going to defend it.
Yes.
All right. Even more interesting.
Yes. So the article goes, I've heard the take on Baby as, quote, rapey a couple of times over the years, and the concern about the song usually centers in on one line, say, what's in this drink? Which many contemporary listeners assume is a reference to a date rape drug. But narrowing in on this particular line divorces it from its own internal context, and having only passing familiarity with the song divorces it from its cultural context. Now, the structure of Baby is a back-and-forth conversation between the male and female singers. Every line the woman utters is answered by him until they come together at the end of the song. When we just look at Say What's in This Drink, we ignore the lines that precede and follow this, which are what indicates to the listener how we're supposed to read the context.
Which is what people who, don't want you to pay attention to context will do, right?
Yes.
They'll just highlight the thing they consider the most offensive and then
let's take this little thing here, take it out of context, and they get all offended over it. So she goes on, the song sets up a story where the woman has dropped by her beau's house on a cold winter night. They talk in the first verse about how long she's going to stay. She has, quote, another drink and stays longer, and then later in the evening it's implied that she's going to sleep over. If we look at the text of the song, the woman gives plenty of indication that she wants to stay the night. At the time period the song was written, 1936, good girls, especially young unmarried girls, did not spend the night at a man's house unsupervised. The tension in this song comes from her own desire to stay and society's expectations that she'll go.
Yes.
We see this in the organization of the song, from stopping by for a visit, to deciding to push the line by staying longer, to wanting to spend the entire night, which is really pushing the bounds of acceptability.
Right. I mean, the suggestion here could be that she wanted to spend the night. That's why she stopped by in the first place on a night on which it was cold and so on and so forth. That, she would then protest as though I have to go, wanting him to beg her to stay.
Her beau in this repeated refrain, Baby, it's cold outside, is offering her the excuse she needs to stay without guilt.
Mm-hmm. Right. What would people think if he let her go, right?
Right. So what he's singing while she's talking about what other people think of her, he's providing her with a list of cover stories, essential excuses she can use to explain why she hasn't or won't go home. It's cold out, it's snowing, the cabs aren't running, the storm is becoming a blizzard, she might get hurt trying to get home. He's complimenting her as well, something that many criticisms of the song hone on. She has beautiful eyes, her lips look delicious, her hair looks swell, but this is standard romantic language. They're having an intimate time together, and he's far less constrained by societal expectations, so he can ask her to stay. It's always assumed that she'll turn him down, which she does, except that she doesn't want to. It's her mother, her father, her aunt, her neighbors that want her to go home in a storm. She's having a lovely time.
Yes, and this is the difference in the feminist community between the sex-positive feminists, and I don't know what the other ones are called, but
is this one a sex-positive one?
It has that sound. It's trying to empower that woman surrounding what appears to be a sexual choice that she wants to make.
Yeah, I think this is excellent analysis.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about that drink. I've discussed solely looking at the lyrics of this song and its internal universe so far, but I think that line, say what's in this drink, needs to be explained in a broader context to refute the idea that he spiked her drink. Say what's in this drink is a well-used phrase that was common in movies of the time period and isn't really used in the same manner any longer. The phrase generally referred to someone saying or doing something they thought they wouldn't in normal circumstances. It's a nod to the idea that alcohol is, quote, making them do something unusual. But the joke is almost always that there's nothing in the drink. The drink is the excuse. The drink is the shield someone gets to hold up in front of them to protect them from criticism.
So in line with the whole concern about what people are thinking.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, it wasn't just me making the decision. I had a few too many or something like that.
Right. Now, the song, which is a back and forth, closes with the two voices in harmony. This is important. They've come together. They're happy. They're in agreement. The music has a wonderfully dramatic upswell and ends on a high note, both literally and figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
The song ends with the woman doing what she wants to do, not what she's expected to do. And there's something very encouraging about that message.
Now,
wow, bravo.
I think what they're looking for, many of the people that dislike this song, what they're looking for is...
something to complain about?
Well, there's so many of these advertisements from the past that are disparaging to women, their decision-making abilities, their role in the family, and all these things. They exist. There's no doubt. All you have to do is go look it up. Ads that disparage women. Use any search engine. You will find some pretty yucky stuff out there. No doubt.
You're talking about from like way back?
Yeah, they're print ads. They're
the
the
easiest,
easiest,
print ads. Okay,
the easiest thing for for the internet to provide you. I'm sure there's something from television, or as a matter of fact, I remember a television one with talking about women and how they make decisions about cars based on how pretty it is. Some women make decisions on cars that way. So lots of men do too. So no big
Well, there's
deal.
a reason why they make cars look attractive, right? You don't want a boxy old ugly thing.
Yep.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
I thought that was excellent. I mean, really, what was her name? Slay Bell?
Slay Bell.
PersephoneMagazine.com. Did a great job of really explaining that song, and I don't know if it can even be heard by the feminists who are up in arms over this. I mean, I don't know if they could even really understand what that article just said, because they're just so looking to be upset, so looking to be mad about something. And that's just such a sensible analysis.
Let's just drop the anger and love each other.
There you go. That's a good idea. 8:55. Wow. Shocking concept here as we get into the holiday season, that people are just people. 855-450 free. 855-450-3733. Take control of the airwaves. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Phone records, financial and location data, Prism, Tempora, X-Keyscore, Boundless Informant. Hey, y'all, Scott Horton here for offnow.org. Now, here's the deal. Due to the Snowden revelations, we have a great opportunity for a short period of time to get some real rollback of the national surveillance state. Now, they're already trying to tire us by introducing fake reforms in the Congress. And the courts, they betrayed their sworn oaths to the Constitution and Bill of Rights again and again, and can in no way be trusted to stop the abuses for us. We've got to do it ourselves. How? We nullify it at the state level. It's still not easy, but the Off Now project of the 10th Amendment Center has gotten off to a great start. I mean it. There's real reason to be optimistic here. They've gotten their model legislation introduced all over the place, in state after state. I've lost count, more than a dozen. You're always wondering, yeah, but what can we do? Here's something important, something that can work if we do the work. Get started cutting off the NSA support in your state. Go to offnow.org.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here. We're talking about Baby It's Cold Outside and the controversy, which I would say has been put to rest by Sleigh Bell over at the Persephone blog. She wrote an excellent piece.
A decade ago.
Yeah, almost a decade ago
2010.
now. She should have put it to rest, but apparently not everyone's read it. But she did a great job of explaining how it's not at all offensive in any way, shape, or form, and it's actually a really pleasant and agreeable song, and that I thought it was great. You linked to it, by the way, Michael, on our Twitter and our Mastodon. So if you want to follow our social media, you can go to twitter.freetalklive.com. Mastodon, you can go to toot.freetalklive.com. That's the decentralized alternative to Twitter. I think it's much better. You ought to check that one out, toot.freetalklive.com. Or if you're on Telegram, you can follow our Telegram channel directly there at telegram.freetalklive.com. The links to that analysis and some of the stuff we talked about with North Korea are all up there for you to see on those platforms. As we continue, we'll take your calls and thoughts about what you want. I do want to let you know about hope.freetalklive.com. Mark, this is the first time I think that we're going to be talking about hope in a recent while. It's been several months. Our listeners helped fund an orphanage.
Building of an orphanage.
It was built in Uganda.
And it's complete. Potties, beds, showers, everything that the kids need.
2 stories, right?
2 stories. Yeah. A place for the caretaker to sleep. There's actually more than one place for caretakers can sleep. Mm-hmm. And it's functioning not only as an orphanage, but as a bit of a community center. So kids from around the town, Kamonga is the name of the town. Kagoma, I'm sorry. Kagoma. The kids from around town, they come. They want to play with the other kids, I guess. Mm-hmm. And, there's still some issues. They're basically house poor. So they have a place, but they don't have any money. And they need to get money consistently. There's no begging to be done, right? Like they're in a village in Uganda.
With other poor people.
Right. There's no begging to be done. So the begging has to be done basically on the internet. I would like this begging to stop. I would like people them to have a livelihood as opposed to that livelihood being begging. Mm-hmm. And so what my goal is to buy a piece of land. And that will allow them to grow some food to feed the orphans. Any extra food that's grown. By the way, they have a bunch of free labor. They got a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Kids, yeah.
And, it's any extra food that's grown, they can sell at market and then use that money to buy different food or pay for their school fees. This is basically all they need money for, is school fees and food. And if while they're learning or whatever, they can also rent the land to a local farmer. So farmers there have the, they got enough seed. They can just, if they can find some more land, they'll plant some more stuff and sell some more stuff, and they'll pay some rent to the kids, and then that money can go to buy food, or they could just get the food from the farmer as rent, or whatever the situation is. I think that it's very versatile, this idea of them having a little bit of agriculture. It gives the kids a real opportunity to learn something, a skill that they can use, and to pay their own way. They're no longer beggars, then they're entrepreneurs. So
sounds great. Yeah. Now, main objection I would think is going to be, how do you know it's really going to be used for what they're saying it's going to be used for? I mean, before you had pictures of the orphanage as it was being built.
Yep.
There was some pictures that were, custom taken that were clearly intended to be seen by you.
I am not going to send $35,000 to some guy in Africa and hope that he does what I want him to do with it.
Yeah, that would be a concern, I think.
Yeah, I am, however, going to purchase this land in the name of the Shire Free Church, and that's something that can be done through their
like a broker or something. Yeah. What do you do with it?
Well, I've got the same guy that the preacher Kamua Saul is going to work as my agent. I'm going to give him a little money because he's going to be taking his time to do it.
This is the guy who you contacted independently, who lives somewhere nearby in Uganda.
Right, but nearby by our standards. He's like 20 miles away.
So he didn't know the person who was running it wasn't in the immediate area of the person running this particular facility, the orphanage. So you reached out to this guy as sort of your man on the ground, somebody who could be an independent verifier that things are actually going on, and that the guy who you're sending the money to isn't just, spending it on cocaine and hookers or something.
I don't know where they would get coke there, but he's not doing that. And I have I've had multiple people go and check on this.
You had, okay.
And the project keeps on getting checked on.
Yeah.
Because I'm
accountability is important.
I'm dealing with other people's money here.
Yeah.
It's one thing if I just write a check and I send it and then forget about it. It's another thing entirely if people place their trust in me and I'm asking them to. Place your trust in me because I keep checking on this and I keep being satisfied that the truth is being told to me. Yeah. And that's
that's important.
Yeah, best I can tell, this guy Nafuna Johnson is trying to tell the truth as best he can. His English is not the greatest.
Sure.
And he sits in with the kids on English classes, trying to learn, and he's getting better. We've been talking for 3 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, the Shire Free Church is gonna own this land.
How much of the 30? You're saying 30,000 is the goal?
35.
35. How much of that goes to the land itself?
30. And I'm gonna keep. I don't know.
Is that a lot of money?
$5,000 an acre for 6 acres.
That seems like a lot of money.
It's half of what land here farmland in New Hampshire, I can't tell you, but I can tell you the land that I bought was $10,000 an acre.
Really?
When I bought some land. So this is flat, good, fertile farmland that's already ready to go. You don't have to pull trees or anything like that.
I see.
I'm not saying that I considered $5,000 to be a lot of money. And I've met a few people, talked to a few people like, wow, $5,000, because we would think that it would be lower. But the fact is I just don't have any idea, and I checked on several pieces of land, and this is the number I keep getting told independently by 2 different people.
Okay.
So best I got is that's the case.
How can people help with this?
They go to hope.freetalklive.com. It's hope.freetalklive.com. I've got the stories written out there a little bit better, and every option to pay the imaginable known to man is available there for you. If you want to do PayPal, you want to do Bitcoin, you want to do whatever, I've got it there. It's hope.freetalklive.com, because I hope we can buy a piece of land, hold it in the name of the Shire Free Church, and these kids can do some farming and learn some farming.
Let's go to Jerry. He's in Montana, listening to KINX on the FM band. Hello, Jerry.
It's Gary, not Jerry.
I'm sorry about that. Gary, go ahead.
No big deal. Well, you were talking about this band song in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And here's just a comment that I was wondering about. If they're going to ban a song, why wouldn't they ban You Made Me Love You? I didn't want to do it.
That sounds pretty awful. Who sang that one? I don't.
Judy Garland.
Oh, really?
Clark Gable in a movie. Yeah, your old movie. Julie Garland sang it to Clark Gable.
Maybe they would, but
don't give them ideas.
Maybe they would, but the thing is, that's not usually a Christmas song, though, is it? It's not. not something
no,
they
it's not a
normally
Christmas
play at this
song.
time of
No,
year.
I was just saying that if they thought a song should be banned,
Yeah.
that one came to mind to me.
Yeah,
for
he's
what
just
it's
saying they
worth.
should add it to the list. I'm sure there's a bunch of songs with offensive. I mean, there's plenty of offensive lyrics out there, especially songs made by rap artists in the 1990s. But that's all fine.
Yeah, you're right.
You want to talk about diminishing women, right? Calling them hoes or whatever it was that they were doing.
But we have to go after this 70-year-old song.
Jerry, thanks for sharing that. Anything else you want to share tonight? Go ahead.
Well, I was just wondering if Trump wants to solve the immigration problem and the national debt problem, he should just annex Mexico and we can tax all the drug lords.
That's a new idea. Thanks for the call, Jerry. I appreciate hearing from you tonight. Yeah, that's one that I've never heard anybody propose before, so I'll give him credit for that. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
So if the United States government had stayed within its constitutional bounds and essentially just been a military compact and an agreement for interstate trade, then it would make a lot of sense for any Mexican state or Canadian province to just choose to sign on to that rather than staying with their much larger government that they've currently got. And maybe they'd want to. That seems like a better solution than most things to me.
All right. We may have time for you. If you're on the line with us now, stick with us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. The remaining moments of Free Talk Live are coming up.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Pain in my neck, back, and shoulders has really gotten worse.
Relief for body pain is here with Sunny Bay heating pads.
Well, the last thing I want is to take another pill, so what's so good about Sunny Bay heating pads?
Sunny Bay heating pads, made by Biomed DB Design right here in the USA, come in all sizes. Our extra large microwavable heating pad for back pain is designed to be large enough to cover your entire back. It's also perfect to wrap around your legs, knees, or shoulder and neck.
But I need to know they're good quality.
Of course, Sunny Bay heating pads and pillows are often an Amazon choice, and it's easy and most affordable when you purchase your Sunny Bay heating pads right from our website, sunshinepillows.com, or call us 253-678-1361.
Hey, a Sunny Bay heating pad
would make a great gift, right?
Yes, and they start at just $19.99 and free shipping is available. So call 253-678-1361 or shop for your Sunny Bay heating pad at sunshinepillows.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Yeah, it is Free Talk Live, and you're invited to join us here toll-free. Our number is 855-450-FREE. We try our best to get you in here in the remaining moments. With you in the studio, it's Ian,
Michael,
and Mark.
We've actually got a few calls on the line here, so we're going to get right into those. But I do want to let you know about Liberty.menu. For a long time, libertarians have been looking for and asking for this site, and it's in existence now. It finally is here. It's a libertarian business directory. Or maybe you don't have a business, but you do digital content creation, and you want to promote your YouTube channel or something like that. You can put your content listings up there. You got your event listings. You got business listings. It's a tool for the libertarian community. Liberty.menu. It's free. Listings can be rated and reviewed. There's even a bit of a social networking aspect to help you connect and share with others. Go to Liberty.menu. It's exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principles. If you're not a libertarian, if you're not a voluntarist, you don't belong at Liberty.menu. But if you are, then get on over there. Liberty.menu, you can use code FTL and get yourself a special badge as a Free Talk Live listener. Let's go to the phones and to the Discord on-air call-in line rooms where Zarasta is on the line, I think in California. Go ahead.
Hi there.
Hey there.
I wanted to share a song I learned was controversial. I just learned it really today.
Really?
I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
That's just a cute song.
Another Christmas classic. Where's the controversy?
Well, the Boston Catholic Church in 52 or 53 deemed that song should be banned because it was talking about adultery, that it had sexualized
oh my
a relationship with a mother with Santa Claus. And the young boy who sang the song, he was 13. He made an appointment to talk to the leaders to explain to them the meaning of the song. That it wasn't about adultery; it was about the dad who was playing Santa
right. That's
Claus.
what I would have figured was.
It's pretty freaking obvious.
Really
yeah.
And then they didn't object anymore, so it wasn't banned the next year. I don't know how they banned anything on radio, but that's the story.
Yeah, I don't know how the Catholic Church is going to ban in a song.
Well, they do own some radio properties.
Yeah, well, and they're not playing I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus on those properties, I'm sure.
They probably aren't. Good story, Zarasta. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's it.
Thanks for the call. It's Zarasta there on our Discord call-in line. Sounds almost like she's sitting in the studio here, just like Gene the Christian Anarchist is on another one of those Discord lines. Go ahead, Gene. Gene? Christian Anarchist.
Yeah.
Hey, we got you.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, about North Korea. I actually parallel that to China because in China, they did similar things. And I went there originally 24 years ago, and China was kind of like a North Korea at that time because everything was still pretty gray and bleak, and there wasn't much prosperity, but they had just opened up their doors.
Mm-hmm.
They just started getting the market going. And I saw the parallel between the state-run stores and the free market stores. And of course, there was no competition. The state-run stores only lasted a few years once the free market stores got in there, because nobody wanted to go to them. The state-run stores were awful.
They suck because everything that the government does fails and is just absolutely miserable.
Yep, and it's a good example of what I think we can see with North Korea. I'm actually pretty excited about North Korea. I think that peace just might break out, even though the neocons hate that idea. They don't want anything to do with peace with North Korea. They want a war. They
need an enemy. They need to have somebody who is a boogeyman that they can point to say, see, this is why you need us, right? You need to have a mega military. There's this crazy man, Kim Jong-un, way over there, and he's going to do something bad, so we need to make sure we're armed up to the teeth. Not to say that they won't have one in the absence of North Korea. Then they'll just use Iran or they'll use Venezuela.
Afghanistan's still going on.
Yeah, so they'll always be a convenient enemy. But this does take one of them off the playing table.
Right, and it allows for precedence for the future because, I mean, we did all this stuff in the 60s. We talked to the people that were the Soviet Union, during the Cold War. They're constantly having peace talks or at least talks. And so this is going back to what we used to try to do back in the old days, was we would try to reason with people rather than just bomb the crap out of them. Although you got to go back before World War I, I think.
Reason with people? Who would do a crazy thing like that?
Right, that's
and who knew it would be Trump?
Yeah, who knew it would be Trump? You got that right. I don't like Trump, and I don't like his new bump stock ban and ban on plastic guns, and he's definitely not a friend of liberty.
He banned plastic guns too?
What? I hadn't heard this one.
Oh yeah, the plastic downloadable guns.
The 3D printed
bill.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
this is
and
news.
they're trying to get rid of the 80% firearms. The ones where you can buy the receiver 80% completed, and then you finish it off by drilling some holes and milling a couple of slots, and then you got a receiver for a homemade firearm. And homemade firearms have been a part of our history since the beginning. You've always had the right to build your own firearms.
I don't see. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't see any headlines, at least on a quick search for 3D guns. I don't see anything about
the
them
80% thing.
That they're trying to ban it.
Yeah, I had heard about that a few days ago. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't have the details. But I had heard something about that.
I'm not seeing anything about a ban on 3D guns.
But putting both of those together, I think it's time to buy a ghost gunner.
Well, either that or a really, really good 3D printer, and I would recommend the one that prints in carbon with alternate layers of carbon fibers. However, that one is terribly expensive. I haven't even bought one myself yet because they're so expensive.
Do you have a 3D printer?
Oh yeah, I've had two already.
Oh wow, cool.
I broke one, wore it out.
Wow.
But
what kind of things are you printing out? Like just like little.
What kind of legal things are you printing out?
Yeah.
A lot of little junk, like a bracket for. In my airplane, I had to hold my iPad up on the instrument panel, and I built a bracket that would hold that.
Sweet.
That's pretty handy.
That's handy.
That's helpful.
Now, did you build it from scratch, or did you just download plans that somebody else had already made and print those out?
Oh, I designed it in the 3D software, and then uploaded that to the printer and printed it out.
Now, they do have file repositories, right, where you could just go and look around and see if somebody else has already made this, because you obviously don't want to reinvent the wheel if somebody's got one that's pretty darn good already.
Yeah, I upload some of my stuff to Thingiverse,
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I sure hope that you're wrong about the 3D gun ban. I mean, although it wouldn't surprise me if somebody tried to ban 3D guns. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Because
I think your search is defective because there's been a lot of discussion on this, and they're trying to slip it into the next gun bill. You'll see it'll be in there.
Well, hopefully somebody will bring it to our attention when that happens. Gene, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. Let's go to Rev, calling from Florida, listening online. Go ahead, Rev.
Hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, okay, so you were discussing feminism earlier, if I'm not incorrect here. And I just wanted to kind of bring up something you've probably addressed already, but the lady, the TERF feminist, the trans exclusionary feminist, her name, let me see here, Corsione, I believe, who was banned from Twitter. Basically, my point with this and what this ties
Hold
into
on. Now,
is
trans exclusionary, are these the group of feminists who don't like trans people?
Yes, sir. From my understanding, that's correct.
Yeah, trans people are very complicated for the feminist ideology.
Yeah, that's true. She was banned recently, apparently, and normally, as a very, very right-leaning person, I would not be inclined to defend the leftists. However, when even leftists are starting to see the social justice kind of cannibalism that is going on currently, I suppose what I would ask you gentlemen, I'm not very familiar with your program, but I just randomly tuned in here, and I like some of what I've heard. But how do you feel, especially I believe you're in the New Hampshire area, so how do you feel as being the hub of this? How do you feel about really the social justice warrior? And I'll watch my language because I think you're syndicated on some things here. How do you feel about this kind of infiltration and what I believe to be an absolute virus upon the libertarian or libertarian-leaning movement?
Okay, I think this is a topic that deserves more discussion than we can give it right now because we're at the very end of our radio show for tonight. But here's what I'd like you to do, Rev. Mark, you and I were both back tomorrow on the Tuesday edition of Free Talk Live. So call in at the top.
I think what you'll find is, just as an answer, a quick answer.
I don't want to answer it. Rev, call in at the top because it deserves more than 10 seconds. Call in at the top of the show, 7 o'clock at night Eastern time tomorrow. We'll continue the conversation then because 10 seconds just isn't going to cut it on this topic. Thank you for the call tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. It is Free Talk Live. freetalklive.com.
Email is easy, instant, and free, and that can be real embarrassing. Email lacks the eye contact and body language you get in face-to-face conversation, or the tone of voice and other nuance you hear in a telephone conversation. Email is just words, often few words. We're all smothering in spam, so we often reply in terse fashion that's easy to misunderstand. And email doesn't cost you a postage stamp, and it lacks the deliberation time it'd take to walk to the snail mail box, so it's easy to succumb to the "oh yeah" stimulus response trap. When in doubt, don't snap back at snippy messages you get. You may have mistaken the sender's intent. And unless you're sending AOL to AOL, there's no unsend. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nesquik. Try Nesquik 4-packs, perfect for lunches and great for kids on the go. Look for it in the juice aisle. Snack time is a great chance to sneak extra calcium into your child's diet without making him feel like he's eating something he doesn't want. Serve up dairy-rich foods like smoothies, flavored milk, frozen yogurt, and string cheese. He'll love the treat, and you'll love knowing how good it is for him. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, December 3rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.49 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zen is trading at $6, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,040. Antiwar.com reports the Trump administration has settled decisively on not blaming the Saudi crown prince for murdering reporter Jamal Khashoggi. The evidence underpinning this allegation, at least from the CIA assessment, centers on intercepted messages. The Saudi crown prince was not physically in Istanbul doing the murdering, and that seems to be the sum total of the uncertainty that the administration is resting on. His closest advisor was there, however, overseeing the murder. The CIA also intercepted 11 messages from the prince to his advisor in the hours immediately leading up to and following the murder. Another intercept the CIA got from the Crown Prince pointed to the underlying plot itself, with the prince saying, "We could probably lure Khashoggi outside Saudi Arabia and make arrangements, even if they couldn't lure him back to Saudi Arabia." The murder plot itself may have also involved intercepted messages, according to a new lawsuit filed by a friend of Khashoggi, Omar Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz had been in contact with Khashoggi on WhatsApp in the lead up to his murder and believes that the Saudis used an Israeli company's software to hack his phone and gather information. Abdulaziz says he believes the hacking of the phone played a major role in what happened to Jamal and that the guilt is killing me. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports former FBI Director James Comey said Sunday he will testify before Congress this week after dropping a challenge to a House subpoena. Comey made the announcement on Twitter after saying he reached a deal with Republicans to make the private testimony after House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte agreed to make his comments public in the entirety after the hearing. The testimony will center on the investigation by Goodlatte and other House Republicans into the FBI and DOJ's handling of probes into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's email practices and Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. House Republicans issued subpoenas to Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch last month, and Comey issued a challenge saying he would prefer a public hearing instead of a closed-door session. He tweeted at the time, "I'm still happy to sit in line and answer all questions, but I will resist a closed-door thing because I've seen enough of their selective leaking and distortion. Let's have a hearing and invite everyone to see it." On Sunday, Goodlatte issued a statement saying the transcript of Comey's testimony would be released to the public as soon as possible after the interview in the name of our combined desire for transparency. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community, HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports the number of people listed as missing after California's deadliest wildfire has dropped again to 25, down from the high of more than 1,200 about 2 weeks ago, according to officials. The death toll from the Camp Fire that had all but obliterated the mountain town community of Paradise in Northern California stood unchanged at 88, according to the Butte County Sheriff's Department late on Saturday in a statement. On Friday, the department said 49 were missing. The roster of those unaccounted for has fluctuated widely since the fire erupted on November 8th and swept through Paradise, a town once home to about 27,000 people, about 175 miles north of San Francisco. On Wednesday, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea said search and recovery teams had finished going through the ruins of some 18,000 homes and other buildings that were incinerated. Authorities lifted evacuation orders for residents of some communities in the Magalia area north of Paradise. Traffic is still barred from entering Paradise itself, according to the Sheriff's Department. The cause of the blaze was still being investigated, but the electric utility PG&E Corp reported equipment problems near the origin of the fire around the time it began. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Everyone in Pennington is talking about it. Something smells like weed in that back part of the library. Head librarian Cookie Stevens and library volunteers Margaret Mosier and Gail Fredericks were in the middle of discussing the upcoming used book saleganza when they smelled something strange.
So Doug smelled marijuana somewhere, and we're like shocked. Yeah. And so Doug goes, "Do you smell it?"
Without any way to confirm that the smell was indeed weed, Cookie Stevens called her husband, Sheriff Stevens, who called in local ceramics teacher Dutch Gibbs, who lived in Seattle for a few months in the 70s.
Yeah, that's weed.
Sheriff Stevens has begun compiling a list of potential suspects, including that boy Lance, who has girl hair and hangs out down by the quarry, Greg Fromke, who was spotted this evening really going to town on some potato skins at Steaky Jake's Steakhouse, and Mr. Thompson. Luckily, one young reading enthusiast seemed unperturbed by the illicit smell.
Yeah, I don't smell anything. I really love the library.
The weed smell comes on the heels of last month's discovery of a gigantic pair of women's underpants in the children's fiction section. According to Stevens, that case remains open as well.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid! Yep. We need to be relatively concerned, but not afeared. But concerned here and declare your independence of me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, from the beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, FreedomsPhoenix.com is World War III. That's all. That's all we got to worry about. World War III. That's what we're going to do for today. In the second, third hour, we're going to have Dr. Frank Tamburi on, clash between Russia and Ukraine, Trump report, something. Anyway, we'll talk about, some stuff. And then we have, in tomorrow, we're going to do James Corbett. That's going to be interesting. He's got, the second part of World War I out. I think he's doing part 3. And there's a bunch of stuff going on we get to yak about. Jordan Page, in hour 2 tomorrow, he's releasing the Ballad of Lavoy Finicum. That is a single. He's making a big release out of that and on recorded whatever. So we're going to talk to Jordan Page and what he's doing. What's up? And then the third hour, Dr. Janet Levitin. She's one of the experts on, well, I tell you, the main thing that we wanted to talk to her about was my granddaughter. She has, fungal meningitis. It's just been a thing, and a lot of it's just been misdiagnosis. Dr. Frank and I were talking about this last week. It's just been, this whole healthcare system is so, we're going down the tubes, man. It is, you separate the patient from the doctor, and just stuff happens. And, Donna likes this new series, New Amsterdam. And it just goes through the bureaucracy. If you could just get out of the way, us doctors, we'd heal people, and we wouldn't even charge them, or something, whatever. It's kind of pie in the sky, but it does emphasize that there's just too much paperwork, and it's just, the bureaucracy of getting in the way of and so on. So that's kind of cool, but it's still, the head guy's got to go through chemo, and radiation versus cancer and this. I think the last episode, he, I don't watch the whole thing. Donna likes it, but kind of got the impression that he's like, I'm done. I'm gonna, drink carrots or something. So we'll keep up on that. And then tomorrow we're going to do a podcast. The only time that we could do it with Joby Weeks. There is a new, all right, I'll tell you how much time we got. All right, I'll tell you what the deal is. The IPFS servers that you get to be able to house everything, someone has come up with a unit about the size of it looks about the weight, too, of a microwave. So you have this microwave, and it sets into a base, or you can just pull it out. It has like a base that it sits on. It's probably only 3 inches thick and about the size of a microwave. And the microwave goes on top of it and just slides in and plugs in. Well, that is the battery that's underneath, and it's the battery and interfaces with the house and all that, and you got circuits that you put it on. And I already have my, for the studio, I have it all set up just the way that they had on 4 circuits that run the studio. And it's just I'm on the grid, clunk, and I'm off the grid. Now, I didn't tie it into where it's, it's automatic and it goes when it goes on and off and all that. I put a hard switch in it because I didn't want the electric company going, oh, you're on a piggyback system, you're not allowed to kind of bite me. I'm either on or I'm off. When I'm off you, it's not backfeeding in anything, I'm off. Then what? I'm off. Off. You're not, I'm off. And so that's why I did that. The unit, it's imagine that you got a base that it just plugs in, just a 3-inch thick base that's on the bottom of the microwave. Yeah, and it's got a handle on top of the microwave. Kind of looks like it. And I take the microwave off, and I go in, and I put it back on, and I plug that bad boy in. Boom. Now, it is a power unit that has, for the weight, I guess it must be lithium ion. And you can take that unit with you. I'm going camping. Boom, I got it. I'm going around. Now, it interfaces with another box that is it powers, and this unit has 3 circuits. It does, a couple of refrigerators, some emergency lights, and your internet, and the hard drives. Well, what happens is whenever your power goes, it always keeps your communication on. Why? For the IPFS system. And what it does is it goes into, I think it was 12 terabyte drives. So it was a lot. Anyway, it's like 48. I guess it had to be less than 5. Anyway, it was like 40-something terabytes of information that you have on this network. And it just, right there, you open up the thing, and there's the drives. They just unplug, plug in, unplug, plug in. Probably been better if they were SATA drives or whatever. It doesn't matter what the drive is. But this whole unit powers all of your storage for every family you ever had in your family. I mean, it's just you have private storage, but interfaces with IPFS, interplanetary file sharing. So when you do that, you're adding to like Filecoin or MadeSafe, or you do, what we're going to be doing and so on. So I was talking to Joby about it. We're just, he's bored and driving around Merca, we're getting caught up and just yakking and so on. I was telling him what we're doing. He goes, let me send you something. So he sent me 2 videos that he recorded this guy of this unit in his house and how it works, and that they're selling these, and they're like, I don't know, a few $1,000s a piece, but boom, you're done. And I'm going, are you freaking kidding me? This is exactly what we're building. And I sent it to Derek, and I go, quantum reality. You take one step towards doing it, and then it just there. You quantum, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Quantum reality. You imagine it, you start taking efforts towards it, you start building it, you start doing it, and boom, all of a sudden everywhere you look, you see it. It's like a car. You go, man, I wish I had self-driving cars. Boom! Waymo cars are freaking saturating the valley, certainly the East Valley here. They're everywhere. So I'm going, yeah, here it comes. So we're going to close the studio Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday, we're going to do reruns from Tuesday and Wednesday, which is going to be great shows, by the way. So that, we'll get you going there. We have Frank come on. We'll talk about this. Oh, yeah, in the first segment here, I want to let you guys know, this is probably a rerun for Thursday. So we'll do that. And then tomorrow is a really good show, and we'll do that. It'll be, Corbett and Jordan Page and Dr. Janet Levitin. So this is going to be probably a rerun Friday, that show. Now, Thursday and Friday, after the show Wednesday, when I get all done editing and everything, boom, the studio comes apart. We got everything all ready. I got all the stuff staged sitting over there on tables, all the new cameras and lights and all that kind of stuff just sitting there. But it's getting to where I just know what's going to happen. I'm going to take it apart, and then it's going to be a thing. So we're going to go ahead and take Thursday and Friday off. Bob Anderson's going to come over Wednesday afternoon and help me just, be He-Man and, he knows the hammer and stuff. So we'll go ahead and get this thing all set up. And then by the end of the weekend, we'll be all done next week. Boom, new studio. Now, it's more than just, it probably looks pretty much the same other than the HD cameras and, new switchers. We're going in. now that we can do this stuff, now that we can serve our own data, now that we can get off the man's grid, now that we can do one more step, what's going to happen? I'm going to get my satellites. Quantum reality. From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Ouch. Quit it. Ouch. Quit it. Ouch. Quit it. Ouch. Quit it. Russia, Ukraine, U.S. I mean, it's all the same thing. All right. You got your little brother, pinching you. Pinch. Ouch. Quit it. Pinch. Ouch. Quit it. It's just ouch quiddity. This is, I'll turn this car around. Well, they may want to. What's going on is there is a Crimea in Ukraine in the Black Sea and there in Ukraine. Ukraine was Russia. During the Soho Olympics, the United States decided that they'd get all involved in a civil disturbance, civil war, whatever's going on with Russia. So while Russia's getting some, cred on the international stage with the Soho Olympics, they just couldn't let that go by without something. So here comes the Ukrainian thing. Well, there's all kinds of accusations of who was helping whom and doing what during all that. But bottom line is there's separatists. If you do any separatizing with Catalonia or try to have Italy or Greece leave the European Union or something like that, they freak out. But, if Ukraine wants to separate, from Russia, well, that's okay. That's okay. You can do that. We'll help you. Here's billions of dollars. And some Nazi fascist dictators to take over for us and in the name we'll assassinate people and shoot from rooftop and whatever the hell's got to happen, for us to have us a revolution. Well, Crimea is a big island, it's, right off the coast. It's just got a little waterway between them, like a river almost. But Crimea is a big area that is isolated by water out in the Black Sea. That was, super secret bases of everything Russian. And they sure as hell aren't going to give that up. And it's out in the ocean there, and it has naval bases on it and all kinds of good Russian assets of, we're not, fine, take that. You can have those problems all you want. We got this. This is ours. Dun, ain't going nowhere. And so they consider Crimea part of Ukraine, so where it split off and Russia takes it, yeah, fine, but you're not taking this. So this has been a thing, going on for years, and the U.S. wants it. So there was a bridge that was built, between Crimea and Russia. And there's, it's like an open piece of water there that has on the border. So they built a bridge. Well, on this bridge, it's over a piece of water that you can travel between the two land masses in the ocean, the Black Sea there, or I should pull up a bigger map. We'll do that. And the Russians said, yeah, you got to let us know you're going to go under our bridge so we can have our, 16 inchers trained on you or something. And protect the bridge. You don't want you messing with our bridge. We know you don't like the bridge that we just finished. So here comes 3 Ukrainian warships, and they come through, and hey, back off, man. Back off of the bridge. You didn't get, did you signal? Did you ask permission? Well, no, screw you, and we don't have to. All right, boom. They fire on them. They board them. They take the sailors. They seize the ships. And for a day, they kind of, none shall pass. Then they go, aha! They go to the United Nations and say, you guys, law of the sea and maritime this, and you didn't, and we're now quit it, and you better open it up. So they open it up a day later, and but they get oral confessions on tape from the Ukrainian sailors saying, yeah, we were there to provoke you. And they go, see, well, was it under duress that you were, you see what I mean? It just, because they can, escalates into somebody doesn't like something, nobody bothering nobody, but they just because something. So there's that. So we'll get in some more detail. I'll pull up some graphics for you and so on. But the economy must be getting ready to go. And what does Ukraine do? Ukraine goes, martial law. They imposed martial law. Let's see. Ukraine on Monday imposed martial law for 30 days. God, there's a set time. What kind of... In parts of the country most vulnerable to an attack from Russia after President Petro Poroshenko warned of the extremely serious threat of a land invasion. Now, what's interesting is that they didn't do martial law during the separation of Ukraine from Russia influence, when they had all the, these Russian-speaking citizenry that was there. They got Russian-dominated